Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome back to another Gems of War stream, and happy St. Patrick's Day everyone! So today we're mainly going to be doing the grind up till reward 20 of the new bounty hunter mode, because we do want to get all those rewards, and we'll be giving out a redeem code once we reach each of the little milestone things. Other than that, probably just mess around with PvP a little bit. But anyways, yep, happy St. Patrick's Day. I would be wearing green, but we're using a green screen, so that wouldn't quite work out. So I can't really wear anything too festive, as that kind of wouldn't work. But anyways, let's get into the Bounty Hunter and continue. Unfortunately, Bounty Hunter has a really weird structure in that its final battle is basically the same thing over and over and over again. I have no clue why they wouldn't make this battle different every single time. It seems very strange that it isn't that, but regardless, I need these rewards, so I must grind them. And we'll give out a redeem code once we hit reward 19, and another one once we reach reward 20. Actually, we'll probably give you the first redeem code pretty soon then, because it doesn't look like it'll take too long to get 19, but it will take a little while to get the other one. Anyways, let's get into everything. But hello everyone, hello Imperator, hello Jeff, hello Sea-Dog, hello William, hello Bradkins, welcome all. A floating head would be festive. No, it wouldn't. Oh no. I guess technically we could. I was slightly thinking about it, but it would just be a floating head. It works for Halloween and stuff. Don't think it would work too well for many other holidays though. Now let me get silence down just so he doesn't get any durability. And for whatever reason, that silences the entire team. I do not understand why, but it does. I'm not going to question it, though. That's pretty decent if it actually silences the entire team. So at least it's being helpful. Of course, he would get the first one unsilenced. The one that actually needs silence gets unsilenced first. But it's not really going to matter much. We should be easy win regardless. Get a good girlfriend there. Get another Infernus. Can't wait till we actually get more of these guys so we can build real teams. Because right now, we can't really build much out of them. Like, it's impossible to really beat this with 3 of them. Well, not impossible. It's technically possible. It's just very ridiculously hard due to the lack of synergies. The only really good one really available is this parrot. Mainly because of how broken it is right now. Or I assume it's broken. It does not appear to be doing what the card says. So, that's at least somewhat broken. If nothing else, at least the text is wrong on it. But, down goes that. We just have the Lamia to take out, which is ridiculously easy. I say that and almost just killed my Gorgoltha. But, we'll just get that down, and that is match. Hello, Humberto. Hello, Heat. Hello, Alonso. And hello, Techni. And hello, GZG. Welcome all. Hope you all have a good holiday today, if any of you celebrate it. I know I don't. Let's see. We'll go and just get into the battle. I don't know, when I was much younger I kind of did some. These days, not really. Because I don't drink or anything, and that's like the biggest thing anyone would ever do on St. Patrick's Day is go out to drink. So, not much to really do. Let's see, what do I really do here? I guess we'll go and take a brown here. Oh, as I give him blues. Hey, have this for free, though then again, he gives us free brown. Oh, I could have taken those blues too. 5 times blue, and I'm not even taking it. We don't really need that color, but we could have had it. At least it would have taken stuff off the board. Wow, a lot of this board I did not need. I guess we'll just take some purples. Oh, very lucky Cascade. Very nice, very nice. No follow-up, though. I guess we'll try for... Oh, wait, yeah, we do. We can just move that over. That gives us the yellow we need and the Infernus. Very nice. He gets a little bit of mana, though, but... Okay, a little bit of damage. Hits the most useless thing, so perfect. All good. And let's just get an explosion down here. Hello, Ross. Hello, Steve. Welcome, welcome. How art thou? I am doing pretty good this morning. Finally caught up on sleep, so feeling very refreshed. Yeah, the game plan for today is we're going to be grinding out a good majority of the current rewards for Bounty Hunter. Messing with PvP some, mainly because I still need to get quite a bit more yellow kills. I think we're only a little bit past halfway done, so still got a bit of grind to go with that. Once we finish out this stream, I'll just be taking a short break, eating some, all that kind of normal stuff. And after that, we'll be coming back with Puzzle Quest. I believe it's going to be the final completion of every quest in Puzzle Quest. We are very, very close. And I believe we'll be able to get it done this stream, which will be starting around 4:30 or so p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in about like 6.5 hours or so. So we'll be doing that then. And other than that, we'll be back for the normal Guild Wars tonight, which is a purple day. Not sure exactly what we'll be using for that, but we'll have something. It'll probably be one of the more traditional loop teams, because it's pretty good, unless we're up against Freeze, in which case we might need to go with something else. Hello, Cherry Top, welcome! Also, hello, Xavier, welcome, and Sakuda. Let's see. You should take a shot every single time you lose a round. No. How's the weather where I'm at? I can't actually see because I have the blinds closed at the moment. Looks pretty average. I have to keep the blinds closed because the way that sun works with how it comes around, like the angle there, it goes like right against the green screen, and sometimes the green screen won't work if it's not blinded like that when I do Friday and Saturday streams. So I always keep it closed then. But yeah, I can't actually open it, so I haven't actually seen what it looks like out there. Might be a little bit towards the gloomier side, but it seems okay. It's not raining or storming or anything. Eat some corned beef and cabbage with a Guinness. The beginning of part of that sounds pretty good. Go and throw the explosion down. And that's match. And there we go. The thing always is the last one to die, pretty much, mainly because it gets so much durability from a single cast. How's the leaderboard looking, by the way? Can we actually get on it? Questionable. We need like 205,000. Let's see, how much points do we have now, and how much is max? We'd get 75,000, no, 80,000. We would get 80,000 more points than we have now to get every reward. So what is 80,000 more than that? That is 200,500 or so. So, okay. So basically everyone is doing that. Hey, Vangor! Hello, Vangor. Wait, is he even here? Aw, Vangor's not even here. We found him on the leaderboard. Vangor TM. Gotta put that TM afterwards, it's funny. But yeah, there he is. And there's his Stars Keepers guild that he was talking about the other day. That's funny. But yeah, that's our goal. Reaching like about that much. Because apparently 200,000 something, like the low 200,000, 1,000 or so, is what max rewards are. So let's go fight for that. And hopefully we'll have a bunch of battles left over. So hopefully we'll find a bunch of Ravens. Otherwise, yeah. I need to maybe buy another 200 pack if we don't end up reaching it. Because I definitely need to make sure we land on the... get the final reward. I'm not trying to land on the leaderboard. Like, if we don't reach the leaderboard, that's perfectly fine. But I definitely do want to be able to reach the final low reward tier 20 thing. Mainly because that 20 reward is a major orb, which we definitely need. A major orb could be a blue major orb, and if it is, that'd be very helpful. Though even if it's not, if it's any major orb, that can go towards our eventual crafting of a Zugoff, or whatever his name is. That one mythic that no one owns, and no one will ever own for a very long amount of time. You have 283 with the same packs I bought? Interesting. So far, we've only lost one battle, but of course, it can vary quite a bit based on the sigil luck. We have killed every bird we've seen so far, but of course, the chance of finding a bird is completely random, which seems very weird, but that is the case. Yeah, we only lost one battle, and that was because I was trying to triple troop every single battle, which does not work. You have to start doubling them eventually. There isn't enough synergy within the current existing bounty troops to be able to triple them all. I was also doing quad troops initially, though I think I switched out after about 10 battles or so, because obviously the battles got so hard eventually that I wasn't able to. Also, where are all the Val Ravens? I was just mentioning them. We haven't seen a single one. Oh, there it is. Right as I say it. But that's the first one this entire stream. Even though we kind of just started, but still. Nope, we gotta make sure he doesn't get those yellows. That is really important. Haven't seen one invade yet, nor do I want to see one invade. Okay, we'll go. We'll go and throw Gorgolfa down. And go into that. Get the Infernus down. I'm not even going to bother with the Lemio, and we can't silence him, so nothing we can do about that. As long as he doesn't get his yellows, we'll be fine. All good so far. I should probably throw some single target at him, just for safety's sake. Nah. We'll go for Infernus spam. He doesn't have any mana yet. It's going to take him a while, even if he does start taking mana. He'll be Infernus dead by the time he even gets a chance. And there we go. He's going to get a cast off. Nothing I can do about that unless we extra turn here. Or that happens. That works too. And as match, I'm not even going to go bother with that. There's very little chance he's going to get a 5 times yellow. And down he goes. Alright, Valraven killed. And now we just have to go and poke him with anything. And down he goes. You missed 1 Raven but didn't lose. So technically missing 1 Raven's like losing twice though. So technically you lost twice. But yeah, well I guess that's kind of slightly different. But yeah, 1 Raven being lost is 2 battles. So that's 2 less battles worth of points. I ended up losing on the 18th battle when I tried using a AoE team. Because this Coral Golem was like, nope, we're going to submerge the entire team. And never let you do anything. I think I tried using like World Breaker or something. Should have probably went with the 1 Troop Infernus. If I went with like 1 Troop Infernus, I probably could have gotten it. I either tried using KrissTigger or World Breaker against them, and obviously it didn't work. Not only did this thing have Submerge, this thing got Mass Submerge. Valkyrie kept feeding them. Bone Dragon killed us out with Skulls. We almost won. We got it down to a 1 versus 1. We almost won with a single Parrot with like 1 HP. It was pretty funny, but unfortunately we lost. We were 2 or 3 skulls away or something from winning with just a 1 HP Parrot. It was pretty funny. But unfortunately we were not able to. And then we switched over to this team, and we've been just plowing through everything since then. Because obviously with 2 troops, it's ridiculously easy. With 1 troop, it is quite a bit harder. Anyways, let's go into the next battle. How far are we anyways on the rewards? It's moving really quick. Gosh, we're going to have like the earliest redeem code ever. Because I did mention I'd give it out for both the thingies. So let's keep doing that. Get into the next battle. Good morning, Rack. Welcome. Alright, we'll go with that. See if we can get the last of our purple. Purple to red. Sounds good. I don't know why I'm going for him first, but we had so much starting mana, I figured why not. Yeah, we'll go move that. And nice extra turn right there. We'll take the red. Random extra turns are always good extra turns. Wins for us. There we go. Very nice. Get the Gorgolfa in there. Get the Infernus in there. Not even going to bother with the silence. Or do I? I think I will. I'll throw it on first slot just so he doesn't gain additional durability. Hopefully it goes on to everything. It doesn't, but it will. Throw an Infernus down. He'll get a Valkyrie, but he pretty much already has full mana because I silenced his other blue. So even if he casts it, it's not really going to do anything. And I think the AI slightly knows that because he's not going for it. Okay, we'll go and take a yellow there. That gives both of them up. He's still silenced, so that does nothing whatsoever. We'll just go get our own silence ready, back up. And do I re-silence him? He'll die to it, but he'll also die to Gorgolfa, so I might as well just do that. Wait, why didn't he die? That's a visual glitch. He's actually dead. 100% sure he's dead right now. I wonder if it'll let me target him. Because he should be dead already. Yeah, he's dead. Wait, he just got silenced from death, though. Wasn't he just unsilenced? Oh, well, anyways. It's a bunch of glitches on top of glitches. We'll go and do the Gorgolfa there. That obviously hits that because he's dead, even though he doesn't look like he's dead. Throw the Infernus there. And get a Gorgolfa. He's gonna get a Lamia. Might even kill Gorgolfa out of it. Okay, good, he doesn't. Wouldn't even matter if he did, and that's match. Extra skull just in case he's somehow not dead. And there we go. And let's keep going. Hello, Lurking! Welcome. The best you can do is battle 16 with Ice Wraith, Sylvania Moor, Dragon Soul, and Parrot. Biggest issue I found with those battles, like using those AoE, standard AoE troops, is this coral thing. It is so ridiculously annoying when using the standard ones. You kind of need something that does single target with half damage to adjacents. Those are the best things to be really using against these kind of troops. The best options for are Infernus, Catches the Bull, the new legend that just came out, that Hylinda Frostcrown, I keep forgetting her name, but Hyndla Frostcrown, I believe it is. Things like those are really decent against these kind of team compositions. So if you happen to have gotten a new legend from it or have any of those other options, they're some of the best things you can actually throw against these current battles, simply because there's such a ridiculously large amount of submerge, and it's just the easiest way to deal with them. Okay, we'll go and take that. You reached level 20, but had to use your dragon team, so win, but with few points. Aww. Yeah, you do want to keep at least 2 bounties on your team if you can. Or at least 1, at least the bounty leader. should definitely be on your team. At minimum, you should have him on your team. You shouldn't ever go with anything less than that, because you'd be getting so few points with your battles. If you were to go anything less than that, you'd be better off doing a weaker battle with like 3 or 4 of the, or even just 2 of the bounty troops than you would be to do a higher battle with less. Oh, speaking of that, maybe I should have been doing that this entire time, though it probably would have taken way too long. Would have probably taken like 10 hours to do all my sigils. But, since we are getting less, I didn't actually think about that. We could technically be getting more points if we were doing battle number 15 with 3 troops. We'd be getting more points than if we were doing battle number 20 with 2 troops, I believe, right? Because you'd be getting 4 times more. 4 times more of, yeah, that would be more points. That actually would be more points. Interesting. I think I did the math on that, right? Let me go double check after this battle. It's kind of funny. Though I don't think I'm going to backtrack because it would take so much longer doing it that way. And, yeah. I don't want to spend forever doing this game mode. Especially since it's just the exact same thing over and over again. I'm mainly just here for the rewards. We'll go move that. Take the explosion there. Get a Grigolta down. But yeah, I do want to check that real quick. I believe that actually is the case. And I think it's a pretty easy battle, too, that we could easily take out. So it wouldn't even be an issue. Which makes it even easier. Alright, we'll just skull poke him. He doesn't even go for anything. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. You don't have those mythic troops. Well, you could do the legends. The legends currently in the event key drop pool. And it's definitely nice getting at least a copy of her. Don't overspend for it, but if it's within your budget range. So yeah, let me see. Yes, this battle is ridiculously easy. And we could easily take it out. Ice Golem, Valkyrie, Keeper of Souls, and Dijin. Dijin is like fully useless. The only thing that would be slightly annoying is Keeper of Souls with that Stone Skin plus 42 reduction. But we could easily kill it by non-skull means. And we could even like Christine X and stuff. But yeah, let me calculate that out real quick. What is 20 times 160 compared to 16 times that? Okay, so let me do maths. So 160 times 20. Oh, it comes out to the exact same thing, doesn't it? Never mind, they're both the exact same. My bad. It's the exact same score. I don't even need to do the math on it, but I'm still doing it. Because it's just the inverse of each other. Never mind, they're the exact same score. But yeah, you technically could be doing that then. Doing this battle with 3 troops is the exact same amount of points as doing this battle with 2 troops. So if you can do this battle with 3 troops, but can't do this with 2 troops, you could just be doing this then, if you don't have some of the better ones like Infernus and such. So yeah, this is a pretty easy battle, and you get the exact same amount of max score. Well, max score. Realistically, the max score. So, yeah, and if you could somehow do 17 too, though it has a coral golem, so that wouldn't work. That one has a coral golem, wouldn't work. This one could maybe work, though it'd probably take way too long to how high its stats are. But, yeah, that's kind of funny. Both of these are the exact same score. Anyways, let's get into the next battle. I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, that is the case. Well, assuming you have them upgraded enough, you would have to have yours at Epic for 4 times. And if you had it even higher, it would actually be more profitable to do the other one. So if you have, like, let's say you got them to Legendary, it would actually be more profitable to do the 16th battle than it would be to do the 20th battle, as weird as that may seem. It's kind of broken. Like, also kind of interesting. I might need to do that strategy next time around, because we're probably going to buy less battles next time. So, with that being said, we're going to want to utilize, to get the best amount of points that we can with each of our sigils. And we'll be perfectly fine spending more times on each battle in order to get more points. So, yeah, that's probably going to be my game plan for next time. Find, like, the easiest battle that's at a higher score, assuming that it changes from week to week. And if it doesn't, then, well, we'll just do the 16th battle. What is the drop rate for mythics from event keys? 0% chance if there's no mythic from it. And the same chance as gem keys if there is a mythic in it, which is about a, I believe it's a 0.1% chance if I'm not mistaken. Around a 0.1, 0.2. It's some kind of decimal around there. But yeah, around a 0.1 or 0.2 in the general ballpark of like a couple fractions of a percent. It's about anywhere from 1 in 500 to 1 in 1,000 is the chance of getting one off of a event key. So the fact that we pulled it in 50 during the video all the way at the beginning of this week is very, very unlikely. Do not expect to get that. Same as when we pulled the other mythic at 1 in 50. We've actually pulled 2 mythics in a row at a 1 in 50, or at within 50, even though there are a 1 in 500 to about a 1 in 1,000 chance or so. Somewhere around there. We don't know the exact rate from my knowledge, but I don't know if anyone has gathered more data as of recently to actually get a more accurate data point. Zero and 1,200 event keys. It comes to Draculus for you. That's unfortunate. That's actually the only mythic my current Let's Play account has right now. I didn't even want Draculus. I was actually going for a Crimson Bat, but then I got 0 Crimson Bats, but I got a Draculus. It was pretty funny. There are some accounts that are like that, and mine is one of the few that is also like that. There we go, another Valraven. It's very rare, but it is possible to get Draculus before you ever get a Crimson Bat. They're both basically the exact same troop, though of course Crimson Bat's a lot more common. We'll go for that. Grab a bunch of manas. He gets a little bit of blue. Not too concerned with that, as long as he's not going too crazy. He's not even casting it. Main objective here is kill that Valraven. And the thing, what's nice is it's actually blocked by a Valkyrie right now, so that's kind of beneficial to us. As long as he's not going to kill us with Lumia. If he can keep hitting those two, that'd be perfect, particularly the last one. That's the most useless one he could be hitting. So we'll go through, as in him triggering to hit the parrot. That does almost nothing. Alright, we'll go Explosion again, get the Infernus down. And I believe we're at the next tier reward, which means I should probably go give out the first redeem code if that is the case. And then we get to see what we get from the first major orb. And then we'll move on to the second major orb. Right, we'll go get a Furnace here. Valraven's almost dead. Not going to be much of an issue this time around. It actually really hasn't been during any of these battles. Been pretty tame so far. Let's see. Is it 1 in 7,200 in glory? I always thought it was exactly 1/10. Because that's what the game actually says within the game itself. Though, of course, if by actually manually gaining data, it could be somewhat off. Because you would need very, very large data pools of several thousand. And I guess in the case of glory keys, probably even more since it's such a low chance. Well, what do we do here? We'll go and throw that down. Obviously, we just killed the Valraven, so nothing to deal with there. Throw that down. And he's just going to get another little explosion thing. That does buff him up a lot, unfortunately. But not much I can do about that other than go silence him this time around. So let me actually do that now, just out of safety's sake. So we'll do that. Actually get both of them silenced, so he doesn't get any mana anymore. Well, we'll throw another Infernus down. Actually, before I do, it's going to die to burn. We get more damage if we do that. And this will actually allow us to kill him now. And down he goes. There we go. Perfect. And 2 sigils, and reward time. There we go. Time to go claim our reward. So here's the moment of truth. What will the orb give? Let's see. Well, we're hoping for blue or purple. Ideally blue, though purple is perfectly fine. Purple is basically 75 gem keys, which is quite insane. Right? Because it's 1,500. 1,500 at 20 each is 75. So yeah, that would be worth 75 gem keys if we were to get a purple orb. It seems weird saying that, but that actually is that good of value. But, yeah, let's go see what it gives. Those trait stones and that gold is basically useless, but the major orb. Green, don't you dare be a green orb. No, don't even joke. Well, green and orange are equally useless to me. I know orange might be good for some newer players because that's basically a fully traded mythic instantly, which is actually really, really good. But it means nothing to me because I have enough trait stones to to fully trait everything that ever comes into the game. I could get no trait stones for the rest of this year and probably still have enough trait stones to trait everything that they release this year. But anyways, blue or purple? No! Why? Well, I guess it's not horrible. In the concept of trying to make a Zugoth, I guess we actually do need the bigger green orbs. I don't need the smaller green orbs because of how bad value they are. But at least the bigger green orbs, they'll serve the purpose of us crafting a Zugoth eventually. That's funny, whoever called green. Who was that? Yeah. Oh, I can't read your name, but that's funny. You did call it. Rip. Okay. What's our current inventory looking like on that? Inventory. 3 useless smaller orbs. They're not even worth converting into bigger ones. And then we have 1 orb of power, 1 orb of ascension, 1 orb of wisdom. We still haven't gotten a purple one. It looks like we're 1 on each. We got the best one first. As far as our luck on the smaller orbs, not really doing that good on that either. We only got 1 orb of ascension, which was, I think, our very first orb, which is kind of funny. First or second. Yeah, I think it was second, actually. We did really good initially with luck, and now we're starting to get really bad luck. So yeah, that's not going over well. Hopefully our next major orb will balance it out by giving us a purple one, or a blue one, either or. I guess in a way, the purple ones are slightly bad in a way, because it makes it so we can't craft a mythic, though I still don't know if I'm actually intending to craft a mythic. But regardless, it counts as basically gem keys, which is not that bad. In the future, that'll definitely be useful, especially if they ever update the seal drop pool with some other content. As of currently, the seal drop pool is basically just gem keys. If you have every single guardian within the drops, like if I go over to these chests over here, once you have every single guild guardian to 4 copies of mythic, these keys basically count as whatever your current chest is 100% of the time. Normally it would only be 50%, but if you already have every drop, it'll only drop the whatever your thing is, whatever your current amount of seals is. Oh wow, I didn't claim my seals. Thank you, guild, for carrying our guild to 40,000 seals, but there we go. I always forget to claim it because I don't use them. But yeah, we're up to 80,000 seals right now. Probably like more like 90,000 after we claim all the orbs. Actually, not that much. I think it would be like 81 or 82,000. But yeah, once we reach this 40,000, they basically count as gem keys. And let's see, what's that divided by 20? Maths. That is wow. That is 4,015. No, 4,000 and yeah, 15. So we have 4,015. What's 4,015 times or plus that? 4,271. Yeah, 4,271 gem keys worth of guild seals is how many we have. 4,271. That is a lot of gem keys. When will I be using them? I do not know. They said they would update the drop pool for them about... they said they would about 9 months ago in about a month or 2. And it has been 7 months since the approximate time in which they would update it. So I should probably just start using them already. Because it doesn't seem like they're updating it anytime soon. But, I don't know. You never know. I'm still going to hold out for them. Because if some kind of new content does go over them, I do want to make sure to get them, obviously. So I will be holding out for a little while. But yeah, that's... I have way too many of them, that is for sure. Yeah, that's a lot of gem keys. That's like enough gem keys to get the next 3 mythics. Maybe even next 4, maybe even next 5 if we get lucky enough. So yeah, that is a lot of gem keys just sitting there. Hopefully they don't change them in a, like, nerfing fashion. That would be horrible. Though I'd probably know ahead of time. But then again, they don't really do updates prior. Like, they never really do those little spoiler things anymore where they, like, give away, like, what's coming in the next patch. They used to do videos on that kind of stuff. But they don't really do that anymore. I don't know why, but they were really nice when they did. But they don't do it. Anyways, let me go give the redeem code. I did say after we got the little orb thingy, I would go do the redeem code. And I haven't done that yet, so let me go do that. See, I didn't forget this time. Let me go do that right now. And then we'll go hand out the other one once we get the other little orb thingy. Let's see, mark that so we know we used it. Copy it so we could move it. Put it over here so I can go copy paste it in a second. Use it so I know if it works. And then we'll go hand out this redeem code for any of you that are interested. Of course, any of you on PC and mobile would be able to go and claim this redeem code. It's going through a little loading screen. Oh no! Are redeem codes even working at the moment? Okay, good. They are. It just went through like a weird like a few second loading screen thing. Okay, it's all good. It's working. Let me go copy paste this into the little redeem code section, and then go post it into chat so you guys can just copy paste it. So let me go move this one. Boom. Copy that. Boom. Boom. And there we go. There is the code. It is... Well, I'm not going to say the entire thing. There it is. And I'll go post it in the chat as well. Move that there. Boom. Copy. And move that into where an Earth chat is. There it is. Boom. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code. And anyone on PC Mobile can use that. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings. Whatever your game says there is what you put in. And you, the redeem code is below us as well as in the chat over to the right. And that gives the normal reward of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Let's go claim the 1 gem key. Anything good? Probably not. Ancient Horror, why? They should really buff Ancient Horror some. So many things summon it automatically. It'd be a buff to like 20 troops if they did that. This is every single thing that is related to Ancient Horror. Not to count the ones that also summon a random daemon, so even more than this. So at minimum, there are 11 troops that utilize Ancient Horror, yet he's 100% useless. He's not even good at doing what his job is, which is cleaning up troops that are dead. What they really should have done, or about to die, he does a small amount of damage to an enemy, then gains a random skill if the enemy dies. And that's perfectly fine, all that. But they should buff his damage like how a Bugbear does, or whatever his name is. He should boost it at some kind of ratio, maybe like a 1 to 3 or something. Basically make his ability like this, except without the extra turn. It deals damage to an enemy, boosted by their missing life. So, basically, whatever life they're missing, he does additional damage. Ancient Horror should be the exact same way, but at like a 1 to 3 boost ratio. So that way he can actually get hits. It'd still be a ridiculously small amount of damage, but at least be a bigger amount of damage than what he currently does. Because 29 damage in late game is, like, less than 1 skull is how much damage that is. It is pretty trivial. So it does almost nothing. Anyways, let me go and head back to the bounty and go get the last of these battles in. Still got quite a bit to go. Even once we finish everything, we still got to go finish off the rest of our seals. Though I might transition over to PvP once we reach that point and just wait till Sunday to go do the last of that grind so we know where the leaderboard is. I will not be spending 20 gems to get onto the leaderboard though. If we don't get it with our natural amount of battles, I'm just not going to bother. Because it's not worth spending 200 gems for 1 orb. The only way that would be worth it is if it rolls a blue orb. Though the chance of us rolling a blue orb is only a 1 in 4 chance. And that is most likely not going to be worth it. Oh, your question? Sorry, Lurking. What was your question? Also, hello, SPM. Welcome. And hello, Steve, if I didn't say hi already. What was your question? Oh, do you think you can show your teams for level 80s because you are level 80? The main team I run that early in the game are something like a double Rock Spirit with a Deep Borer and a Ranger. The actual order would be Rock Spirit, Deep Borer, Ranger, and then another Rock Spirit. That's normally what I would be running if I'm running a newer account at that level range. My other account that's at that level range runs Double Dwarven Gate Valkyrie Tesla. Though unfortunately you probably don't have the Tesla despite having the other 2 components. Though if you have a Legend that is blue, you could also replace out the Tesla with that. Doesn't work as good as the Tesla, but it would still serve a similar purpose. Double Dwarven Gate Valkyrie as well as any team with Dragonian Monk are really good at fighting people that are way stronger than you. The main reason for this is barrier spam is really good at negating out damage. Because it doesn't matter how much damage the enemy is doing, it negates out the entire thing. So even if you're up against someone who is much stronger than you, you still gain the full amount of protection against them. It's a great way at fighting 3 trophy battles, as well as 2 trophy battles that might be slightly harder. Let's see, your soul grind is going somewhat well, considering you've not been able to spam farm this week. Got your first weapon of the Dawnbringer, nice. And now halfway to the second, very, very nice. Though after you get all of those, you'll still need to get 1,000,000, and then that's a pretty long grind from there. But yeah, good luck on that with the Dawnbringer grind. It does take forever. Dawnbringer was meant as like a late game thing that barely anyone would have, but because so many people already had a surplus of souls, a lot of people basically had it upon release. It's not like a Zugoff or anything where basically everyone is not going to have it for a very long amount of time. But because everyone already had the souls for Dawnbringer, it's like it immediately comes out, and it's supposed to be like this special weapon that almost no one has, yet so many people got it since it was already a pre-existing resource. But yeah, It's the purpose that they tried to do with Dawnbringer didn't really work out that well. Not to mention the weapon in general is just so ridiculously good that it's kind of mandatory for a lot of people to get. Because they don't have a alternative blue or yellow weapon. They technically do. It's fire and ice and sun and moon, but they don't have any easy access to those weapons. And they're normally behind paywalls. So no one really, other than the people that got it during the initial event or people that paid out for it, don't really have access to those, unfortunately. And then they just don't really get to utilize their blue or yellow colors. Because blue and yellow lacks all forms of decent weapons, basically. They don't have any AoE other than the actual Dawnbringer itself. Or the other two weapons I mentioned, which are both paywalled at the moment. I think they only cost like 80 glory when they first were released too. Which is kind of funny. They were like 120 glory or 80 glory or something, I forget exactly. Maybe even 150, but still they were ridiculously cheap to get. But at the time, yeah, I do have to keep in mind, glory was quite a bit rarer. So what 80 glory used to be back then is almost like what 1000 glory is now. Let's see. You got a counter app to keep track and counting if 100k souls at a time, which is about 400 battles. Slightly more motivating than a 4k battle count. Yeah, that would definitely be the case. Definitely don't want to keep track of a number that... Oh! The first Valraven! Oh no. Please, extra turn. Oh! No! 2 battles! No! Wasn't paying attention and the Valraven got away. I could easily have taken that out if I was actually paying attention. Fail. Rip. Okay, that's 2 battles. Luckily, we should still be able to make the full amount without those 2 battles. So now we technically lost 3 battles. 2 to a Valraven and 1 to just a normal lose. Rip. Oh, that's unfortunate. Whoops. No. Oh well, we'll find more Valravens. Alright, we'll go take that. Go and take the red. I don't really have any really good option for taking it out. We do have options though. We have a lot of single target, but the single target damage is ridiculously low. It's 29 and 21. Not to mention we don't even get the silence off the one that does 21. If we did, then that would be ridiculously easy, but the only thing we could really do is double freeze it with the other guy. Ice Wraith. If we double Ice Wraith cast, we can drain 5 mana, which is the easiest way of taking out the Valraven. Rip headphone users. Let's see. What is the best team using Magnus? Is Magnus useful in PvP? Not anymore, because not that many people run Kraken. He was mainly used as a Kraken last slot. I mean, a anti-Kraken. Basically, used him in last slot to counter Kraken. Personally, I don't use him because he's way too random. He's put on just about any utility, or he's used as a utility on just about any team. Though, there isn't much of a need to currently use him, so no one really uses him, I don't think. But, yeah, you basically just put him in last slot on, like, a Gorgolfa Infernus something team, or really just a Gorgolfa damage Magnus team. Or a Gorgolfa damage mana generator damage. So like a Gorgolfa, something using purple that's a damage source, giant spider, Magnus, something along the lines of that. But he's mainly just used for utility. He's still the best thing for applying random stats effects, but that isn't necessarily a good thing because it's way too random. Because it's random. Random stats effects are indeed random. So yeah, it can backfire pretty easily. That is for sure. Or not really backfire, but you know, it's it doesn't necessarily always do what you need it to do. It could do the most useless of stats effects, and then you get barely any value out of them. Do you think your PvP team is good? Your PvP team is Corvash, Valkyrie, Azura, Druid. Which Druid? I'm trying to think of what trip you're referring to with that. But, yeah, Corvash, Valkyrie, Azura seems pretty decent. You can just keep spamming Corvashes and Azura for the mana generation. And, of course, Valkyrie for the board control and the mana generation. And you have the ability to counter out any color that you need. Yeah, you have pretty much everything you need. don't know what druid you're referring to, though, but I'm pretty sure it'd work with it. Do you think you're... Oh, never mind, I already answered that. What is the best PvP team... never mind, I already answered that, too. Hello, GG Ram. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, no problem for the code. Oh, yeah, anyone just getting here, make sure to use the code. It is... should still be active. We posted it pretty early. We're doing a code for each of the reward tiers. So we reached tier 19 already, and now we're grinding for tier 20. And once we reach it, we will give out a redeem code. Okay, do I silence them? Yeah, there we go. So we actually got the full silence. Perfect. So we'll go throw a Gurgultha there. Go from there. Get the Infernus down. I don't really have any good drops over there. Oh, that blue-green guy that has a +1 blue. Oh, that's kind of funny. When I first, when traits were first introduced to the game, that was actually the first team I really made. Was using like 3 of them. Because, of course, there was barely any trait stones in the game, so it was... everyone was basically only trading like the lower rarity troops. So I ended up making a team out of him. I ended up using like 3 of them plus a Valkyrie, which was really funny. It's not really that viable, and there's many better options, especially now, after all the updates they've done, because that was like a year and a half ago. But yeah, at the time, it actually wasn't that bad. But yeah, that would work. He's not the best of options. You definitely would want to replace him with a Christine X eventually, but if you don't have Christine X, he's perfectly fine as a replacement until then. Also, that new legend that just came out this week wouldn't be too bad to put there either, as a replacement for him. Because that would allow you to get free, so you'd be able to free stun the entire enemy team, which would be quite convenient. Both effects are pretty good. Not to mention, you'd also be able to freeze things that have immune to freeze, since you could just stun them. Let's see, assuming we don't lose any of our battles, and we get 0 Val Ravens, which is probably not going to happen, but we're definitely going to get more Val Ravens than that, though we did lose the most recent one. What is 3,200 times 20? So we're going to get about 64,000 more points, is approximately how many more points we're going to get. We're actually going to get more than that, because we have tomorrow's battle, as well as whatever Val Ravens we get. But with just the current amount of sigils we have, we're going to get 64,000 more points than what we currently have. So let me go see what number we're currently at, and then add 64,000 to that. And that is approximately our final score, plus like maybe 10 more sigil battles. Okay, we'll go for the explosion here. Do you have an idea who you can put in your the Druid team, or in for Druid? Christine X, the legend that just came out, the Frost Crown, the Hyndla Frost Crowns. And that's about it. Mainly just those 2 would be the main replacements. I guess technically you could go Arieli too, but I'm pretty sure you don't have Arieli. Yeah, you could easily go in either of those other 2 legends when you get them. Both of them are good to have traded anyways. It's not like you're going out of your way to put them in. Like some troops that you might build into a team, you kind of have to slightly go out of your way trading-wise. But things like Gurgultha, Christine X, Hyndla, kind of those like core troops that get used with almost everything, doesn't really matter if you go out of your way for it. Or it's like you're not going out of your way for it because it gets used in so many teams that you're naturally going to be using them anyways. Yeah, let's go do that. See if we can get any other kind of action here. Go for the Gurgultha. And the Infernus should be enough, especially after we got that skull. And down it goes. Perfect. Let's see, what is 64,000 more than that? That would bring us to about 220,000. So we will easily have 220,000 by the end of today, which at current rates would put us at about 70 seconds on the leaderboard. Interesting. Sweet, so we might actually make top 100 then. Because we'll also have tomorrow's battles, and even though we lost 1 Val Raven and the other battle thingy, I think there might be other people that are doing slightly worse, so hopefully, if so, then we should be able to make top 100. Because I don't think most people are going to bother spending 200 gems to go for the final thing. Anyone who got all the way to the end thing probably just went to tier 7, bought it once, and not repeat buying it. Because if they were to repeat buy it, that probably wouldn't be worth it. I don't know if they would bother doing that only for one single one single trait stone thing. I know I'm not. If I don't make it with what I currently have, we're not going to bother making it. Because as I mentioned before, the only thing that would be worth it on that orb to justify the 200 would be if we got a blue orb off it, but it's completely random, so we have no clue if we'll get a blue orb or not, and it probably isn't worth gambling. Let's see. I'd rather keep my 200 glory. I mean, my 200 gems. Oh, nice. 5 people in your guild are actually on the leaderboard. I didn't actually even double check to see if anyone from my guild is. I obviously didn't make this game mode mandatory because it's on an individual basis. I encourage my guild to do it, but it's by no means require it. Nor can a guild really require it because you can't even see your guild's progress on it. So it's actually impossible to even require it. But yeah, so yeah, it's not required for my guild. It's definitely highly advised to actually participate in it though. At least do the free battles if nothing else. But I would probably go for about tier 3 or 4, kind of like the other game mode. Honestly feel like it is definitely worth going, if you're a late game player anyways, to go all the way to the last little reward thing. It is quite a bit of gems, but it's only once a month. So you could easily put it to the side that many gems once a month to go and do all of the battles. Because the conversion rate for the stuff you get is pretty decent for late game players. There's a lot of good things out of it, like the vault keys and the orbs, which in the long run will probably be better than the amount of gems just spending them. Not to mention there are some orbs that can save you gems. Like if you get a if you get the purple orbs or the blue orbs, they both actually save you gems. The other two don't, but the purple and blue will net save you if you keep rolling them, if you get lucky enough to actually get them or not. Yeah, that is quite a bit of gems to throw down though. It does appear, especially after they buff it next week, to require more. It does seem like it'll require about... Oh no, another Valraven. Dun dun dun! Will this one get away too? No, it shouldn't. It's the Valkyrie's in front of it, so I highly doubt it's going to get full mana. Anyways, what was I just explaining? I was explaining something about the thingy. I don't think it was too relevant. Where was I mentioning about it? Completely forget already. Oh, it's not too important. Let's go and throw a silence down. Let's see. Do you have anything else that does true damage? Oh yeah, that's what I was mentioning with your reality too. I was just trying to keep it with the same color though. I actually didn't double check to see what all the colors were on the team that was mentioned earlier. Let's see. It doesn't matter for the multiplier if you put KrissTigger in the first spot as a tank. Well, we wouldn't have mana generation capability. Also, I'm trying to stay away from full AoEs, as I did lose one of the battles due to that. You have to be really careful using AoEs in this game mode. The main reason being... Okay, I'm playing it safe this time and freezing him, so that we can get the mana drain on him. But you have to be careful with using AoEs in this game mode, because this Coral Beast thing can submerge the entire team. And Submerge gives protection against anything that does full AoE, as in hitting all the enemies simultaneously. Things that can bypass that are things like Infernus, Catcher's the Bull, what's her name? The Hyalinda Frost Crown, and basically anything that hits a single enemy and then hits the 2 adjacents are the best things to really be throwing against these Coral Beasts. Okay, let me go and drain some of his mana. I don't want to have to deal with that. So he's all the way down to 0 mana, just out of safety's sake. And now we can just easily kill him with Infernuses. I'm not letting another one get away. Go throw the explosion down. Throw another Infernus at it. So far we technically lost 3 battles due to the 1 Valraven. Do I kill it? Out of safety. I think so. And down it goes. I definitely do not want him getting away, because that's 2 battles worth of points. That's about 6... Every single time a Valraven gets away, that is 6,400 points that we lost. Every single time. Luckily, it only happened once, though. So far, we've lost about a potential of 9,000 points total, approximately. So we've lost about 9,000 points from just either losing battles or Valravens escaping. Which isn't too bad. Watch, that 9,000 points is going to be our gap from not making top 100. That is so going to happen. We're going to be like 9,000 points away from it. But I think we should be okay, because we used 4 troops and 3 troops for a longer duration than most people probably did, I think. Because we did 4 troops all the way up to, like, battle 8, 9, or 10. And we did 3 troops all the way up to battle 18, which is actually where I ended up losing once. And then we started going to 2. I believe people switched into 2 a lot quicker than that. Not fully certain on that, though. Also, we might have used 4 for longer than some other people as well. That's also hard to determine, because I have no clue when people are actually switching out. Because no one really knew what to do for this first one, so there could have been a lot of people not using the max amount of bounty. We'll go take that. We'll give him some greens. But everyone will know for next time what to do, pretty much. Though it's going to be a whole nother month, of course, before we get to see another one. Because this and the vault only occur once a month for 3 days. I do have to say, I do like these 2 game modes a lot more than the other 2 that they added. I do wish this one was less repetitive, but I really love the reward system they have set up for it. And this is actually the one instance where I feel like the energy system isn't that bad of a thing. I still feel like the leaderboard's still completely pay to win. That's still a problem. But as far as the actual exchange of the points to reward that they have for this one, it's actually decently balanced. It is still pretty expensive, but it's mainly geared, I think, towards late game players. I think. Because that's the only people that are going to be able to afford that. Alright, we're going to move that over. Let's see, we'll get the Gurgoltha down. Also, this one's a lot less mandatory, too, than how the whole guild thing is set up. Because if you're in a top guild, it's pretty much just mandatory that you have to participate in those other game modes. Whereas this one is 100% optional. And is mainly just for the rewards themselves. You were able to get up to 20 for the events, but after 20, you got smoked? What do you mean by that? Because 20 is the furthest it goes. Do you mean level 20 as far as these guys? Yeah, there were a mention of people actually getting like stuck at 11. If you are getting stuck, if you're a newer player, or even just don't really have the synergies, you can just go to a lower battle and just use like 2 or 3 bounties. And then you'd probably be getting more points for doing that battle than the higher battle anyways. So just find a nice sweet spot where you can run a decent amount of bounty troops, and then just keep spamming at it. And that'd probably be the easiest way for you to gain your points. Also, I do highly advise at least getting some of them, because they're not going to be in the drop pool until another month. So for this initial bounty, if you haven't already done your battles, definitely really good to at least get a few of the packs. You don't have to on any of the following weeks, but they're currently not in the drop pool, and none of them will be for about a month or so. So no one has any of them unless you actually spent any gems. That's actually one of the other reasons why I even spent the gems initially anyways, is we needed them to begin with just to be able to get points. But yeah, they'll be in the drop table in, they said 3 to 4 weeks. If it's actually 3 weeks, which I really hope it is, that means they'll be in the drop pool before the next bounty hunter occurs. I believe even if 4 weeks occurs, it'll be 1 week before the next bounty hunter. So you'll still get the chance to open them within keys, which could be kind of nice. Okay, what do I need to do here? We'll go and move the yellow over here. Move that over. Do I bother silencing him? I think so. Yeah, there we go. Full AoE silence. Very nice. It's basically a silent one that has damage, except it's only a % chance that it'll occur. But still. Oh, there goes his durability. Unfortunate, but oh well. He's gonna get a Keeper of Souls, most likely. Okay, good. He doesn't go for it. Yeah, come on. 1 minute off. We'll go take the yellow down. And that's match. He'll die to a Gurgoltha. Oh, oops, that wasn't enough. And he cleanses his burn. Really? 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 There we go. And then we overkill him. Okay. Anyways. Hopefully we see another bird soon. You were able to get up to... Oh, never mind, I already answered that. The 3 bounty troops were in gold. Hey, there we go. We're in gold and glory keys for about an hour after Friday reset. They fixed that very fast. Really? Aww. That would have been nice. I actually wasn't up yet at that time. Oh, that would have been so broken. I would have opened like all my gold keys if that was the case. Also, thank you, Hawaii Dennis, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Also, I have no clue if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but thank you so much. Go through the explosion down. Oh yeah, also, for any of you that didn't hear earlier, the game plan for today, as far as our streams that we're going to be doing, the game plan is going to be, we're going to be doing this for a good bulk of this stream, finishing out the rest of Bounty Hunter. We'll be giving out another redeem code once we get the final reward for Bounty Hunter. After that, we're going to be trying to grind out the last of PvP that we need, and then I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break to go eat and all that, and just relax for a little bit. Then I'll be coming in at around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 4:30, around there, which is in about 5.5 hours from now. We'll be coming in with Puzzle Quest. We should be finishing out most of the quests in that game, and finally basically completing out that game. It won't be the final stream for it yet, but it should be the completion of all the quests, I believe. So finally get that down for that game, and then we'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we are every night, with the Guild Wars, as well as with dungeons, and just messing around a little bit, and probably doing a last little bit of the grind we need for the yellows. I think we're still about 140 yellow kills away from completing out the current weekly objective, and it's definitely really good value to go and complete out those objectives these days. If you happen to have the time. I know it takes a little bit of time these days due to how they rescaled it, but it is quite worth it due to the buffed up rewards that they have recently added to it. So right now, if we go and complete out every single one, we're going to get an additional 75 gems very soon, once we get like a few more PvP kills, and then eventually 9 event keys as well. And between all those event keys, you could possibly get like a Hindla or something from that, the new legend that came out, or if not that, maybe a random mural or something. So yeah, definitely pretty highly advised. That's let's see, if we count every event key as 14 gems, because technically 15, but if you buy them in bulk, it's more like 14. So 14 times 9 plus 75. That means between just the final two, there is 201. So let's just say 200. There's basically 200 gem worth of stuff in just those final 2 rewards. So yeah, there's a pretty competent amount of things. For less than 200 yellow kills in PvP, you're basically getting 1 gem worth per yellow troop that you kill in PvP once you get to that point. So it's definitely pretty decent value to go for. Actually, overall, between all the rewards, you are basically getting like 1 gem per yellow you kill. So that's a pretty good trade. Of course, that assumes you actually go all the way with it, but still. That is definitely not too bad of a reward for something that you might already be doing anyways, because of course most people play quite a bit of PvP, as that is one of the most profitable things you can do in this game, as far as spending your time in it. Alright, we'll go through the Infernus. We'll get that down. See if we can get a Gorgulfa or something here. Wrist is starting to hurt. Need like a little pad or something to rest it on. I have like a little towel here, but it only does so much sometimes. That's also why I wear the sweater. I can kind of like put it up here and then boom, use that as a pad. Alternative options. There we go. Let's see. What do we even need here? We'll go and what do we even need for options? I guess we take a red, purple to red to the other one. Oh, wait, oops, because it moves the other red, we actually don't get it, but it's still full mana. Can you give some tips for better, to get better more quickly? What point of the game are you in? We're going to be doing a video on that in the near future. I haven't gotten and accumulated everything I wanted yet. I wanted to wait until after Bounty Hunter, and Bounty Hunter has occurred. I just haven't had the time yet to actually go and do the video. But yeah, I will be covering within the next week or two a video basically going over the full progression of the game, all the way from when you first start out all the way until where we're at now. Basically what you should be doing at every level range and at every point as far as resource-wise and all that kind of stuff. Basically like a master guide on the full progression of Gems of War and what should be focused on constantly. Because there are different things at different times, but when you're first starting out, main objectives you have is get every single kingdom to level 10. Starting with the magic kingdoms, and then working to attack kingdoms, then HP, and then armor. That's pretty much how you should start every single account. You basically get every single kingdom to about level 3 or 4 or so. Probably more towards 3, though some people do get them to 4 instead, or even to 5 sometimes. And then you simply go and start doing all of the 10 stars, starting with, like I mentioned, magic and stuff. Then you progress on to try to get yourself into a better guild. Once you have gotten all the kingdoms upgraded, there aren't really too many gold sinks other than the guild. So you're going to want to try to find yourself a gold sink that is about the amount that you play per week. So if you're getting about 100,000 gold per week, you'd want to find a guild that has a 100,000 gold requirement. If you're getting about 300,000 gold per week, then a 300,000 gold requirement, so on and so forth. And then you'll just naturally gain a lot of resources for free every single week. Ideally, you eventually want to work your way up to a 500,000 guild requirement guild if you can, or at least any guild that is completing out every guild task. Not really that mandatory, but the better the guild, the more resources you're getting for doing essentially nothing other than your normal amount of play that you're already doing. So it's basically just free resources. And then from there, you're just naturally going to be able to progress through the rest of the game. And as far as early game, you focus mainly on PvP to try to get a good majority of your resources. Good majority of your time when first starting out is in 3 locations: Treasure Hunt, PvP, and Arena. Arena is for souls. Treasure Hunt is for if you fall behind the curve of PvP from doing too many quests or anything like that. It gives no EXP while giving you resources, which due to matchmaking makes it easier to win Arena and PvP. So whenever you fall behind, you go do that, and PvP is always done for gold. So Arena for souls, PvP for gold, and Treasure Hunt when you fall behind the curve of whatever you're fighting in Arena and PvP. And that's pretty much how you go through a good majority of early game. And that's pretty much all you need to know for about the first starting out. As far as trait stones, you put them more towards things that have really good utility. So things like Valkyrie, which gets that +1 blue at the end and all that kind of stuff. Things that have stone skin, pretty good. Things that have empowered are always decent, other than Tall and Fonessa are the only 2 exceptions to that. And then just trying to get your bulk and trying to build 1 or 2 really decent teams. And once you have 1 or 2 really decent teams, you basically just go and run through the entire game with those 2 teams. And then you eventually try working towards Guild Wars. And then you try eventually working towards these other game modes like Bounty Hunter and yeah, that's basically it, Bounty Hunter. Because there really isn't any other one other than the ones related to the guild, which I just consider basically as just the standard guild stuff. But yeah, most end game content is all the things related to the guild, as well as yeah, that's basically it. That, and I guess technically PvP though. PvP's essentially the same throughout the entire game, just with different teams. You're in a guild that does every task on first day? Yes, it is definitely really good to be in a guild like that. My guild is also like that. Most mid to late game guilds are like that these days, or at least late game. I don't know if every mid game or every mid tier guild is actually around that location. But yeah, it is definitely really highly advised if you're playing this game for 5+ hours a week to be in a guild that is indeed completing every task. You'll need to have every kingdom to level 10 first, because that's a gigantic gold sink you need to get past before you can really start donating that much to a guild. But yeah, definitely highly advised to get into a guild that does that. Because as I mentioned, you're basically getting resources for free by doing that. And it will save you a lot of grinding in the long run. And also make it so you can play more free to play without actually paying any money. Alright, we'll go through that in, and there we go. How's the parrot? Parrot's actually ridiculously good. I was actually wanting this parrot for a while. It looks really nice. Big fan of birds, as well as its ability is pretty decent. It's not anything too over the top. It's still weaker than Silent One, but it is only a rare, so obviously it is going to be weaker than a legend. But due to how it currently functions, for whatever reason, if you target first slot, it appears to want to silence the entire enemy team. Why it does this, I do not know. But with how it currently works, it basically has a 50% chance to silence the entire enemy team, which is not that bad. For 12 mana cost, it's cheaper than a Silent One to silence the entire enemy team. Of course, it's not a guaranteed chance, but it also has damage on top of it, which is something that Silent One has been lacking. Biggest issue with Silent One, and why you normally don't see it, is it has nothing that scales off of magic. But this thing does. While it's a pretty pitiful ability as far as damage, it's still something. It's more than 0. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, and somewhat serves a purpose. So yeah, we'll try getting another silence here. But you could just kind of just throw it on first slot and have a chance to silence the entire enemy team. It's really weird. See if we can actually get it here. These would be quite useful. There we go. And as you can see, it just silences the entire team for only 12 mana cost. Silent One does the same thing, but for 14. Not to mention, Silent One gets silenced after he does his ability, whereas this thing, boom, it's already ready to go again, or almost. It almost got full mana back, but normally it would get its full mana back like that. But yeah, look, it's already ready to go again. Didn't even need a cleanse or anything. I can go throw it right back on first slot and try refreshing all the silences, and basically just perpetually silence them. Yeah, Parrot's actually really amazing, due to how broken he is right now. The card doesn't really do exactly what it's supposed to do, but even if it did exactly what it's supposed to do, that's still a triple silence. Like right now, I could still silence his entire team, even if it did function correctly, once he has only 3 left. So yeah, it's really good. It's the only one of the Ray troops, I mean the, too many game modes. It's the only one of the Bounty Hunter troops that is actually decent. All the other ones are pure useless, pretty much. But Parrot is, there are purposes for it. Within the game. If you have Silent One, there's basically no need to really use the Parrot, but if you're a newer player and you don't have Silent One, this is basically the Silent One of early game, the Parrot. So now you have an option to use Silent One now. There kind of already were like double silences and stuff, but his ability to fully silence the enemy team, how he currently works, is basically Silent One. So you basically have it as a early game option, at least in the current state of how he works. Even if not, a triple silence, he's the only thing that can triple silence in the entire game, even if he was to function correctly, as he should be. But triple silence, still very decent. You got the Parrot, Penguin, Jellyfish, and the Ice. Is that what you're actually using as your team? Interesting. Very interesting. Don't think that would work out that well. But it's, I guess it's technically worth a shot. Also, I gotta be careful. There's a Valraven there. Did you even notice it? Even made its noise and everything. Okay, we'll go throw that down. Once again, I'm gonna need to get this guy up out of safety just to make sure he doesn't go crazy and get his escape again. After he got it once, I will not let him ever do it again. The only reason he got it that one time was because he replaced the Valkyrie, though, and I wasn't paying 0 attention to the battle. But he's not getting away this time. Not a chance. Okay, there goes Keeper. He got some yellow there. Him constantly casting Valkyrie is perfectly fine. That actually helps us. Not only does it give us the ability we need and puts more blue on the board, it also makes sure Valkyrie blocks his mana. We'll go through that just so we can get a mana drain on him if worse comes to worse. It also applies some damage. And now once we get this thing's mana back up with an explosion, we can easily go and drain his mana and do a single target, which will nearly kill it. So we'll drain his 2 mana. Drains up to 5 if he's frozen. And that's dead. Okay, almost dead. Oh, I need to go get a burn. How do we not have him burned yet? I'm going to kill him off a burn, but where's our extra turn? There we go, finally. So now he's burned. And he'll die to that burn next turn. And then we'll be good to go. Okay, let's go for a Gorgotha here. And a smash, pretty much. There we go. Never mind. Well, he still has a gigantic amount of durability. Let me go and silence him so he stops using that. Go throw a poke at him because we can drain his mana. He's silenced, then we can get to drain. Well, you will in a second. Let me see. Can we get it? Well, it's not going to matter at this point. It's already enough damage. Down it goes. Hello, Max. Welcome. Do I have a different purple team for today? No. We were going to go... Well, I think there was something we were going to mess with. Wasn't it this team? No, never mind. That was Red Day. Now we're messing around with something. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm sticking with the normal. Hellcat, Elamagrim, Infernus, Umberwolf. It's been working very well for us. Go into immediate Hellcat into infinite Elamagrim, and then you win. That's pretty much the whole strategy. Umberwolf is absolutely insanely good on Purple Guild War days. It's one of the only few troops that creates its own storm, that color storm automatically. That's actually pretty decent at using in Guild Wars. Skady doesn't work as well, mainly because there aren't really as many good blue loops, infinite loops. But if they ever were to be introduced to the game, should be quite a bit better. Yeah, Purple has some of the best infinite loops, so it ends up working very nicely. The only thing we might need to change out for is if we're up against Freeze. But even up against Freeze, if we get a quick enough start, it doesn't even matter because they're not going to be able to have enough time to get a Freeze. Anyways, back to Bounty Hunter. Where are we as far as score? We're almost there. We're almost on the leaderboard too, or back on the leaderboard, I should say. And we're almost there. Let's go. Oh no, we're gonna knock Vangor off. Poor Vangor. He's not even here, is he? He might not have even known he was on the leaderboard. Or you probably did. because he would have seen it before he went off. He was probably in like 80th earlier, but then started going down when other people started doing the rest of their battles. Anyways, speaking about the rest of their battles, let me go and continue with ours. We have 15 remaining, which is probably like 24. Plus we have the additional 4 tomorrow, so that's more like 30. Depends how lucky we get with the Ravens. Anyways, we'll go move that over. We'll take a purple. Let's see. Those were diamond buys from Bounty Hunter? What do you mean? It costs gems, not diamonds. The Bounty Hunter thing. Most things in this game cost gems. The only thing that costs diamonds are things within the Soul Forge, some things. And mainly, the only 2 things that currently cost diamonds are crafting legendaries and crafting mythics. Are the only 2 things that currently require diamonds in this game. They might be adding some other stuff in the future, but those are currently the only 2. Most people save them for mythics, so newer players, it is good to go for things like Dragon Soul and such. Some of the more bigger utility kind of troops. We're going to get silence here just so he doesn't go crazy, just in case. And get a Gorgoltha down. See if we can get an Infernus going, which we'll be able to do right now. Before I do though, let me take that blue. Didn't get anything going, so we'll just go for an explosion. And now we can kill him with an Infernus. Hit him directly, which we would have gotten the half poke, because that would have still been enough damage. But that's match, and another Infernus dead, or almost dead. There we go. Skull kills it, and we're good to go. On to the next one. 14 battles remaining. Feels weird, we're almost about to go to single digits. I haven't seen single digits basically all week in that number, because we bought so many initially. It feels weird having this many battles to do as well. Because for all the other game modes, I had like barely any battles because I made sure to barely get any of the packs, but that was mainly because our guild could carry us all the way. Whereas this game mode, you can't do that. Now we'll go throw an Infernus at this. Before I do though, let me go move that over. I believe on a normal week, we would need to go all the way to tier 6. Not tier 7, but I believe all the way to tier 6. Because it looks like we'll, assuming we get every Valraven and get every, or then again, I don't know, maybe I'll go tier 7 again next time and then just kind of see. But it depends what they raise the points to, because they did mention right now that the points are about 20 to 25% lower right now, and that they'll be raised by about 20-25% next time. And the reason they made it lower this time was because no bounty hunter troops existed. But, I don't know, I'll have to see. But I'm probably going to do, I'm going to try, I think, tier 6 and see how that goes for next time, I guess. And just see, because we'll have higher bounty bonus, so maybe that'll make up for it. But, yeah, next time around, we'll try tier 6, see if that works, and then basically progress from there. Before I do, though, let me go throw that down. But, the reason for this is mainly because that will give us the mythic thing, which I believe is still enough sigil battles, as well as a big enough bounty bonus that we'll be able to reach it. Because we have to keep in mind, too, we can still use Ice Wraith next time. We have this guy at Mythic, and we'll be able to use him. So our team is basically going to be a Mythic, and these 2, once again, most likely, unless it changes what kind of battles we're up against. But even then, that's still probably going to be our team. But yeah, we'll be able to use that, and that will be enough to run every battle. And then we'll have enough sigils to also do it as well. Because we only got 10 additional sigils from getting that final pack. And yeah, that's not really that needed, I don't think. That would save us 200 gems. Meaning it would cost us, what, 1,110? Or something? Somewhere around there. I would need to re-add everything up. But, yeah, that would max out our bounty troop. And it would give us the option of having a 12 times troop combined with a 6 times troop, meaning our boost ratio would be 18 times, which is actually higher than what our current boost ratio is. We'd be getting 400 more points per battle. But yeah, we'd be at 18 times instead of 16 times next bounty event, and we'd only have 10 less battles, which means at this current moment in time, we'd only have 3 battles left, or 5 if we would kill the Valraven. Plus, we still would have the 4 from tomorrow, and that would indeed be enough to reach reward 20, as we can see right here. Oh, but this is on the current system. We don't know how it'll be on the other system. Really? So we might actually have to buy the other thing. But then again, we'd be getting about 10% more points, approximately. But they said they would raise it by 20. So you know what? Never mind. We might have to buy the 7th pack. Really? We might have to buy all 7 packs again. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Based on that quick maths, we might have to actually still buy 7 packs. That would be annoying. Still somewhat worth it, but... oh well. Really wish they would have made it slightly cheaper than that. It's not like we have to go claim every reward. It's just... the rewards that I get from it as a late game player is worth it. Okay, let's go throw an furnace down. Go grab that. Hello, Frosty! What's the best King Highforged Dwarf team without Stonehammer? Normally it doesn't even use Stonehammer. It's Lady Iron... No. It's Lord Ironbeard, Lady Ironbeard, Apothecary, or use a Penguin, followed by a Highforge. And that would be the team. You would be using a Apothecary if you're using it as your normal team, which you'd have almost no need to ever do that. But if you're using it for defend, you'd most likely want to use a Penguin there. But you can put Apothecary there instead. You can also put a Dwarven Gate there instead. Any of those options. I normally go with Penguin, though. Main reason most people go for Penguin, because that team would most likely be used for Guild Wars. And Penguin doesn't really get currently used on any other day, so it doesn't conflict with anything if you need, like, Apothecary for something else, for whatever reason. And it also has the main reason why it gets used. It has a +5 stat boost to all blue troops, which means you're going to be giving both your 2 single target troops, as well as the Penguin itself, 5 additional magic. And that 5 on both the Lady and Lord Ironbeard is normally enough to one-shot all your enemies. Not always, but when it is, it increases the value of the team by quite a lot. Because if you could just randomly kill someone out of nowhere by turn 2 or 3, that is really good for the AI and puts them at a pretty good advantage. Especially if they aim at the summoner. And that's would be pretty decent. But yeah. Your stat and stream died again? Aw, is it really doing that? I'm not going to bother fixing it because the same thing happened yesterday. It's on YouTube gaming end and there's not a single thing I can do to fix it. Even if I go and fix it, it's just going to do the same thing it did yesterday, where it goes all weird. Luckily, YouTube has it automatically now, so if it dies in stream, it's still technically there. So that's not as big a deal. But yeah, there's not a single thing I can do about it. Maybe I'll go fix it, but it takes like a few minutes, and then it's probably just going to do the same thing it did yesterday, so I'm probably not even going to bother. It's not that big a deal. I don't think it is. Does anyone even look at that chat, by the way? I don't know if people do or not. Maybe like people in the full screen mode. That's the only people I could possibly think of who might actually still use that chat. Though I highly doubt many people bother watching the stream in full screen. I don't think I ever watch any stream in full screen. We'll go through Furnace down. Mainly because I'm normally doing so many other things simultaneously. I'm normally doing something like playing Gems of War while watching a stream, while watching YouTube, while surfing the web, while playing RuneScape, while maybe even possibly playing a second account on RuneScape, all simultaneously. So yeah, I'm normally doing too many things at once. That is for sure. Anyways, I think we actually reached the final reward, didn't we? Almost. 2 more battles. Actually, 1 more. No, 2 more battles, yeah. 2 more battles and we'll reach the final major orb, as well as those arcanes. As well as 20 gems, so we get paid back a little bit. Not that many. Actually, how many gems do we get from doing all this? Because technically, even though I keep saying this gem value, it's slightly cheaper than that. Because we're getting 20, 15, 35. Also, I guess you could technically count the Vault Keys gems as well, though I'm not counting those in this count. But because it's completely random how many gems you would actually get from that. Let me see. It's 20... 15, 35, 50, 65, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. That seems like a weird number. Did I count that right? If I did, it's 105 gems, which, yeah, it's a little bit less cost. Plus, we could maybe get some off the Vault Keys, so that brings it down to, let's say, 150 gems. So... let's see, 1,320 minus 150. So the actual cost of getting all rewards is about 1,160 gems, since you do get technically some of it back. Oops, why am I going under there? I just should go under games and finish out the bounty. Or at least the final 2 battles we need. And then at that point, we might as well keep going a little bit further because leaderboard. And then we'll save the rest of the battles for tomorrow. Once we hit the leaderboard, I'll probably go to like 210,000 or so. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe like 220,000. And then we'll go and do the rest of our battles tomorrow. Maybe even like tonight's stream or something, who knows. But yeah, unfortunately, bounty hunter battles aren't really too over the top as far as content. Mainly because they don't have any variety in them, so they're just the same thing over and over and over again. Unfortunately, I have no effect on that. I cannot change that, though maybe they will make the logical decision and not do that. Because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, why the final battle is the exact same battle every time. I guess that makes it fair, but at least have like a rotation thing that everyone runs on or something, if you're going to do that. You can still have variety and make it completely fair to everyone to have the same exact result. It doesn't have to just be the same battle every time. It could be like the same 10 battles on the same rotation every time or something, at minimum. We'll go through Infernus now. And, do I even bother poking at it? I don't think he's getting any yellow anytime soon, so I'm not even going to bother. I say that, and he's probably going to get a bunch right here. Yeah, he is. Okay, that's not good. I don't know if I single target him or not. I don't think I will. Okay, good. He didn't get full mana there. And now I single target him. Never mind, he already dies. Perfect. And that's match. We get the Gorgultha in there. Add you on Steam? Could you add me? Because normally that would work a lot better. But yeah. My Steam is, actually, I don't even know if I have any slots left. I need to go clear out my friends list. I have to keep doing that and get rid of all my, slots. But yeah, if you just add me, I could just add you later. That's the easiest way of doing it. If you already sent a friends request, I could easily just go add you. Let me see. Do I have any friends requests? I have one invite right now. This might be you. Let me see who it is. Also, keep in mind, I'm normally offline on Steam. Is your name 1 exclamation point and then 1? That is currently the only person trying to add me right now. I do not know that if that is you. Though it does have Gems of War as one of the games played, so I assume that is you. Is that you? Oh, you already did? Okay, so that's probably you then. Yeah, I accepted your friend's request. I accept pretty much any friend's request on Steam. Let's see. Also, someone sent me a message. Who is this? Parrot is bugged. Oh, yeah, someone was saying how Parrot is bugged. Yeah. Yeah, the Parrot is extremely bugged right now. I'm not sure exactly how on earth they made it so bugged, but it is. Anyways, let's go and on to the next battle we go. Also, we finally hit over the 200 threshold. And also, in doing so, we have hit reward number 20. So let's see what we get from the final orb, and then go give out the second redeem code as well. So, moment of truth. What do we get from it? Suspense. The suspense. The major orb of wonderfulness. Oh no, should we go for it? Should we go for it? Well, I gotta go for it eventually. Anyways. I don't know, what could it be? Blue? Purple? If it's anything other than that, that's horrible. Come on, blue or purple? Purple! Okay, I'll take that. So now we've actually gotten perfect RNG on the orb so far. We've gotten exactly one of every major orb. We got the major orb of growth, the major orb of ascension, the major orb of wisdom, and the major orb of clans. So we're at perfect evenness on that. Unfortunately, our other orbs are not even. We got 3 orbs of growth, only 1 orb of ascension, which is the most valuable one. 5 orbs of wisdom, and 5 orbs of clans. So we are doing really bad on that. We are very low on the blues, which is the most useful one. So unfortunately, that is pretty bad luck. But as far as the major orbs, we're at perfect luck at the moment. So that's at least going decently. So yeah, there we go. 1 orb of clans is actually worth 1,500 guild seals. If we were to use that right now, we could very easily just like boost our entire guild up in seals. Actually, I believe it's worth, as far as like actual gold value, I mean actual like cash value as far as like their current prices that they have, it's actually worth a decent amount too. If you look at your guild thing, where do I go for that guild? Your guild. Like if you needed to help your guild to try to get this seal number up, it adds 1,500. Make sure you're already at 1,500 though. If we go and use one of these orbs, I'm not going to use it now though, but we can go to this page. As you can see, it's 300 guild seals and then 1,500. Why on earth does it have an overview of that when it already shows that at the bottom? That makes no sense whatsoever. But anyways, yeah, 300 and 1,500. And once you have 1,500, you'd want to use this, and then it just adds more to your guild seal total. and that would be a very easy way to reach 40,000 if your guild already normally isn't reaching it, in case you want to go and like boost up to use your keys. But yeah, to be able to do that by alternative means, how much is this again? Yeah, this would be 1,000 and then 450. So it would cost about $30 to do it by normal means, whereas you can just do it with one major orb of ascension and save yourself $30 if you didn't want to do it that way around. So a lot easier doing it that way than it is to spend $30, or at least for the normal person, it would be a lot easier than spending $30. Though, of course, you don't get the guild keys to all your members, so you are getting a little bit less value. You're also obviously not getting VIP because you're not spending any money doing it. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It serves the purpose of boosting this without spending money, which is kind of good, because now people who are playing free-to-play or not spending a bunch of cash on the game have an option to basically go and do just that, to go and get guild seals without having to go out of their way to actually spend money if you need that extra little gap to close whatever you need to get either to 20,000 or ideally to 40,000. Yeah, that's kind of pretty cool. I am actually, I really love that they added these orbs. The orbs are a really nice addition to this patch, I do have to say. The means of obtaining them is a little bit annoying, but the actual concept of orbs was definitely very good. But anyways, let me go give out the redeem code, and then we're probably heading back to PvP. Let me see, because I still have quite a bit of grind to go do on that. So let me go give out the second redeem code of the stream, and this will be the last one for today. Next one will probably be on Monday or so. Let me go copy this. Boom, boom. Copy, save. Put this over here underneath the little thingy. Put that there. Boom. Double check that it works. Put that there. Oops, I didn't even type my username correctly. Good job. I somehow typed a W instead of a E. I have no clue how that even happens. Are they next to each other? Apparently that's how that happens. When fingers slip. Okay, we'll go and put this underneath the redeem code section for anyone coming in after the fact. There you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use this on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section for any of you interested in using it. Just gives a small amount of resources in game. There's no easy way of centering it. There we go. That's close enough. Click OK. Hate that it doesn't have a centered button. Always throws me off like crazy whenever it's off just a little bit to one direction. But unfortunately, it doesn't have an actual center button. Anyways, let me go copy this into chat now that we know it's already working. And there you guys go. Wait, it wants me to sign back into my own chat. Why does YouTube keep doing this? And that's probably why my chat died too. Okay, well, I'm signed into my own chat now. I don't know if that's going to fix the other chat, but oh well. We'll go and throw that there. But anyways, there's the code. There is the website as well. So if any of you want to go use that, gemsofwar.com or into the game code section, or simply click the link and copy paste that. Let me head back to my little stream setup. Hopefully it brings me back to the right location. Good, it did. And yeah, YouTube's being really weird as of recently, as far as like some of those little things that they've been changing. Let me fix chat again so I can actually see it. And the redeem code gives the normal reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Let's just real quick go open that. Also, your invite code can be found underneath the invite code section. I mean, underneath the settings menu, underneath any of the cogs you see. And your invite code is whatever your game says right there. Use whatever your game says, not mine. And as I said, it gives all those resources. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And what do we get from the 1 gem key? Anything good? Well, it's better than a ultra rare, I guess, but still useless to me. Also a useless troop in general. Dark Song is... it got buff nerfed a while back. It used to be a green counter, but then they changed it to like a goblin/orc counter. But now it's useless because that's basically useless to have that kind of counter. But yeah, invite code is whatever your game says there. It's different for every person, and it might have a bunch of underscores and weird numbers in it and letters. It's very rare if your invite code is only just whatever your name is. You have a very rare invite code, because this means you were the first person to ever have this invite code, ever. So that's normally what that means. So very few people actually have uniques, unless you have very weird names as your name. But very short names and like distinct names very rarely have just like standard 5 letters. Normally it's like whatever your name is, underscore, and then like a bunch of random letters and numbers. Normally. Also, if you had a really old account, you would also have a slightly unique code too that I don't believe are available anymore. because now they do a bunch of numbers and letters due to so many people having the same accounts. But what they used to do is whatever your name is, underscore and then 1 or underscore 2 and so on and so forth. And if yours was underscore 1, you had the second account, underscore 2 was the third, so on and so forth. But I don't think they do it that way anymore. I believe for repeat names, they just do random numbers and letters, not just a single number indicating what number account you were. I think they did that just to make sure that, I don't know, I guess just to kind of hide how many players they have playing the game or something, because they're pretty adamant about like never really sharing that data, even though it is available by some other means externally. Actually, speaking of that, how many people are playing right now? I'm kind of curious now that I just mentioned that. I can only check the Steam one at the moment. I believe there's a way to check it on mobile too, but I always just check it on Steam because why not? Anyways, let me go check it real quick. Gems of War. Also, there's a spike in play on Steam today. I guess it's because it's a Saturday. Has more people playing right now than any time during the entire week. Let's see. But currently for Gems of War, at least just on the PC version, this is not counting mobile, this is not counting either of the two console versions, but there are 1,935 players currently playing, and the highest amount of players playing in the last 24 hours was 2,021, so a little over 2,000. And the average players currently for this month of playing is higher than it has ever been in the history of the game. Never mind, slightly lower than the highest it's ever been, but still pretty high. And the peak players was actually the highest peak last month during February at some point. Was the highest amount of... Oh, no, never mind. That wasn't the highest amount. There was another point where it was slightly higher. It was in September for whatever reason. What happened in September? Oh, that was the big graphical change, which then led to a gigantic player base lowering. But then the game has basically recovered now from that. That's amazing. It took them 6 months to recover from September's update. That is how bad September's update was. For any of you that don't know, September update was the update that overhauled the entire visual, basically every single visual in the game other than like troop art, and a few other instances were essentially overhauled for what it currently is now. It was completely changed, and it was quite a drastic change that quite a few people did not like, so much so that apparently about 20% of the player base actually left the game from doing so. Anyways, we've completed all these now. We're not on the leaderboard at the moment. I should probably go do a few more battles just to get on. I think it would take us like, what, 5? Never mind, it would take us 1 battle. I guess we'll go do it. Oh no, what's his name got knocked down. But yeah, let's go do like 1 or 2 more battles, then we'll go spend time in PvP and such. But anyways, let's go into this. Yeah, no problem for the code, everyone. Okay, let's go repeat this battle a few more times just to get onto the leaderboard just for a little bit of time. And we'll use the rest of the battles either later tonight / tomorrow. But yeah, we'll go and take the yellows. Get a Gorgoltha down. Because at this point, I might as well try for the leaderboard, as long as we can get it with our current amount of sigils. Get a Gorgoltha down. Oops, move that over. Now we get a Gorgoltha down. Oops, let me take the brown as well. Get an Infernus. And what else do we need? I guess we get a Gorgoltha. Oh, I could have taken the red. That would have been full mana. Luckily, we Cascade for it. And we can just throw an Infernus into whatever else. Get a Gorgoltha. He's going to probably throw a Coral Beast or something. Yep. Annoying little thing. I guess we'll try silencing him. Nope, we didn't get the entire team, but at least we got him silenced. If nothing else. Okay, we'll take the purple there. Throw the explosion down. And get a Gorgoltha. That'll give us full mana, and now we just instant win pretty much. Oh, never mind. Oh, I say that. We can actually lose this battle. Careful now. We'll go throw that down. I know, that Lamia can get a lot of damage when it actually hits the right targets. But that's match. Way more than enough damage, even if he heals at this point. And down he goes. Well, that was a little shaky. We'll just go do one more, and that's the leaderboard. Actually, I think we're already at the leaderboard. Hey, rank 96. Feels weird being on one of these pay-to-win leaderboards. But that's because we paid to win this week. Because we actually got every reward. All the way up to tier 7. Let's see. But yeah. And we still have a decent amount of battles left too. And quite a few of these people are probably the people that only bought the 6-pack as well. A lot of these people might have only done 6-pack instead of 7. So with 7, we should be able to reach probably around here or so. Might even be able to reach top 50 and get 25 of our gems back, though that definitely wasn't worth it for 200 gems. But, 25 more gems back is definitely nice, but all I really want is top 100. It's the only thing I really need out of that, just for the extra little orb. I'll have to open that on Monday and see what we get. Anyways, I guess we'll do one more battle. Oh, yeah, hey, Demon Angel's actually trying again this week. Interesting. I guess if you're gonna do it on any game mode, this is the better game mode to do it on. Though, how many gems would you have had to have thrown? Gosh, that's like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 gems or so to be able to get that high. Because let's say we get 250,000. How many battles would that have been from our stuff? Let me actually calculate that out real quick. I'm kind of curious. So we got 10, 8, 18, 6. Well, we get 12 automatically. So let's add that to that. So 12, 10. Wait, maths. Wait, 1 second. Eternal maths in head not working. Okay, 10, 8. Well, 12, 30, 36, 41, 45, 48. Yeah, that's right. And 50. So you'd get 50 total if you were to buy every single thing once. And of course, I'm not counting the little bird thingies. So that's 50. So that means to match that, you would have to throw another 1,000 every time. So that means they threw 1,310. And then, let's just say 250,000. So that means to be able to reach this amount, that would be 3,310 gems to reach that amount. And for this amount, it would have been about almost 4,000 gems. So about 3,310 and almost 4,000 or so. So that means one power orb this week is costing approximately 4,000 gems to obtain. Anywhere from about 3,500 to 4,000 gems. Of course, they're getting all the rewards back, as well as 700 of those gems. So in a way, it's basically costing about 3,000 gems for one power orb. That appears to be the current exchange rate, or at least what one person is willing to spend for it. Or apparently two, because there's kind of a competition going for it. And that means per major orb, about 1,500 gems is being spent per major orb, approximately. Slightly more expensive for these people who are going 4th, 5th, and 6th. Slightly cheaper for Demon Angel if he actually ends up getting, or for Hillary and Demon Angel, whoever gets 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, interesting. I don't know if I would ever actually try doing that. I could see that being somewhat justifiable. If I ever do try doing that, though, it'll be way down the line. Like, way down the line is in, like, a month, 2, 3 months from now, when the hype around all these orbs are down a bit, and everyone who's currently paying to win to go get the orbs, once they've basically gotten their Zugoffs, maybe I'll try. Because at that point, we would be able to have less competition. And with less competition, we'd have to spend less gems, meaning we'd get it for cheaper. So it's going to be a while before I bother with that. But anyways, we're currently on the leaderboard, at least. I guess we'll go do, like, one more battle just so we stay on it for a little bit. And then we'll do the rest of our battles later. No point in doing them all now. Anyways, we'll go do one more and then go to PvP for the rest of the time. And if you guys have anything you want me to go over or anything, let me know, and I'll definitely make sure to do so. But other than that, we'll probably just be messing around PvP, grinding that out, getting our gold, getting our yellow kills, because I still need those. Definitely really good to do so. As I mentioned earlier, it's basically 1 gem per yellow kill in PvP. And also, yellows that you kill in Guild Wars also counts. So that's going to make it even easier, since we're probably going to get at least like 10, 20 more kills through Guild Wars as well. So we'll go through our Infernus now, get that going. Hopefully go get like the last brown we need or something, throw that over, get our Gurgulfa, and we'll be good to go. Throw an Infernus in there. And maybe get a Gurgulfa and some follow-up, throw that down. And just throw an Infernus, because why not? Get a Silence in there so he doesn't get durability. Please silence the entire team, perfect. Go throw a Gurgulfa. I wonder when they're going to fix the parrot. Or maybe they'll never fix it. Could you imagine if they just made the ability exactly that, where it just silences everything? That'd be so ridiculously strong. Though they'd probably lower the percent, which would make it useless if they do that. If they were to keep it like that. Okay, now all we need is one more Infernus, and that's already dead. Throw that down. And down it goes. Okay, and that's all we really need to do for bounty at the moment. I think that brings us to like 93rd place. Or 92nd. 94th, one off. But, yep, okay, that should be good for now. That'll last probably till tonight, hopefully, maybe. And, yeah. And then we can easily go do the last of our battles and go claim, whatever we end up getting up to. Should definitely be top 100, though. Anyways, let's go and head to PvP, then. Still have several yellows to have to go kill. I think we need, 100, yeah, 141 more kills. That's how many more yellows we need, so let's go and start working towards that. Not even going to bother paying attention on if it has yellow or not. Just going to basically just do whatever 3 trophy is, or whatever the revenge battle is, and just get them that way. Okay, so we're going to go right off the bat. Not much we really need to take. Move that over. No converts, no nothings. I guess we'll go take a green. Oh, this is that one team where I actually need to go and, I guess we'll take that skull, actually. So we'll do that. Yeah, he's going to get that down, but luckily we have Diviner. Unfortunately, he just gets rid of that color immediately, so we'll just go take red and stuff. Try getting an Furnace down, seeing if we can get him for some damage. Go take a red to brown, I guess. Don't need the brown, but we do need the red. Need more yellows on the board before we can really do anything here. The colors I need are not available as well, so can't even take that. I'll just gonna move that over. I guess we take a skull, since we, again, don't have much of another option. So there we go, finally. I was gonna say we still don't have anything, but nope, we finally got one. We can do that, throw the yellow, and now we're good to go. And now we pretty much just auto-win. And yeah, let's auto-win. Kill that out so we don't have to deal with the drain anymore. Throw an Infernus down, get the last of our mana. Throw another Convert because we can. And yeah, it's pretty much match. Throw another Skull. Another Divine Ishabella because Infinite Loop Ishabella is super strong. Throw the Infernus down, and yeah, that's pretty much match. No problem for the code, everyone. Okay, we'll go throw a Mercy down. Get that going. Get an Infernus. Throw that on top of it. And dead. And we get our one. Hey, it didn't give me my little event gem thing. What? Is that not working? It didn't give me a event gem on the final screen. I did kill the yellow, right? There was a yellow on that team. That was weird. Okay, this team definitely has yellow on it, so let me double check this time around. I might need to restart the game if it's not giving me my little yellow things. We should be at 162 or 163 after this battle, somewhere around there. It should be not 159 is what the number should be. As long as it says something other than 159, we're good. It's perfectly fine. But if it says 159, there is a problem. I just realized he's using the same team we're using right now. Different order, though. You can tell by how infinite he is looping that he's using the same team that we are. Okay, we'll go through that down. Luckily, I think he has lower durability than us. We'll go through that. Get our skull pokes that way. Throw another Divine. Move that over. Get an Infernus down. Actually, before I do, get some skulls. Oops, I thought that was alignment. Oh, well, apparently it is. Off the Cascade. And that's match. And way overkill. And there we go. There we go. Okay, I don't know why it didn't give us an event gem on the previous battle, but we got it that time around. That's strange. That is really strange. That's weird. We had a yellow on that one battle, but it didn't give us an event gem. Unless I'm going crazy, but I'm almost guaranteed there was a yellow on that previous battle. Oh well. Luckily, this guy's using pure yellow, which is really nice. That's exactly what I want to be seeing. Especially under a revenge rival, that's even better. I will go move that one over. Get a Diviner if we have it. Not on green, but if we have to, I will. Because I need to keep the green for the Divine Ishabella. Because that's one of its alignments that it has that keeps it going. And if it doesn't have that, then it loses a lot of value. There we go. Now we got it again, if he doesn't ruin it. And he ruined it. Good job. And we don't have a follow-up either. Do we still go for it? No, I throw a Diviner instead, and then we go for it. We'll go for that. And nope, we still don't have it. I guess we throw Infernus then. That'll clear up the board some. Oh, I could have actually done a Mercy as well. Speaking about Mercy, let me do that now. We'll go do that. Heals our weakest as well. And now we just win. So we'll do that. Move another skull. Oops, wrong way. Good thing that didn't actually swipe, or else that probably would have not done anything. We'll move that over. Might as well. We'll move that. Get the Divine Ishabel. Get like a few more skull pokes in here if we can. I guess get rid of the yellow then. Oh, no free skulls. Never mind. Thought that would be. Actually, it is. We can go do that. And then move that over. And then move that down. And then throw Infernus. And then he's dead. And there we go. Yeah, I still can't believe how ridiculously good this team is. Divine Ishabella, I believe, is coming into drop hole next week, by the way, too, if any of you haven't gotten it yet. Not 100% sure if it's next week. It's either next week or the following week. One of the two. But, yeah, Divine Ishabella, absolutely amazing. Definitely great to have. highly advised trying to at least attempt getting it when the next mythic comes out or something like that. When you plan on using keys next, definitely keep an eye out for it. I wouldn't go out of your way to get it unless you just happen to be wanting to get random mythics and stuff. But yeah, definitely highly advised to go get her. Also, I don't believe she's been in the Soulforge yet, but of course I will mention that on a Monday video when she is, and probably throughout the week as well, because it is definitely pretty noteworthy. She is one of the best legends in the game right now. Aside from things like Dragon Souls and Gorgolfa and such. But definitely one of the higher possible tier legends you can get. That is for sure. Good move that. Let's see. The game needs to give you Infernus already. Well, you might be able to find it in Soulforge. I don't know for sure if they've made it on rotation as of this patch or not. But if that is the case, it should be coming in the next few weeks then, if it hasn't already. But that's probably the easiest way to actually obtain him, or any mythic for that matter, is to craft him via the Soulforge. And that applies to any mythic in the game. It's the easiest way of obtaining any of them. It takes a lot of resources and can take a couple months just to get the diamonds to do that. But it's the best thing you could do. As far as trying to focus one down. Oh, a double revenge! That's possible? Wait, that's possible? I don't think I've ever seen a double revenge before. Let me screenshot that. I never even knew that was possible. Interesting. Weird. Okay, anyways, what is a craftable this week, anyways? Soulforge, not that. Troops. Nothing too good. Queen Aurora's okay. Oh, Ferrishra. Yeah, you'd be crafting Ferrishra this week, most likely. Most people would be. If you don't already have a Ferrishra, definitely highly advised to get one. He's the best soul gaining troop in the game, and the sooner you get him, the more, or the less time you'll have to spend farming souls. And if you're planning on going like on a Dawnbringer grind or just a soul grind in general to go and get like every troop you have leveled to its max possible level, it is definitely highly advised to have a Ferrishra for that purpose. Fully traded, obviously, for the 150% soul gain. The best you can get without one is 50% soul gain. So yeah, it's a lot higher having a Ferrishra, that is for sure. So yeah, get one if you can. Definitely very well worth it. Best thing you can craft with diamonds as far as you're getting value out of it, because it will save you hours upon hours of grinding souls. If you're planning on farming every single troop to max level, as well as getting a Dawnbringer, you will save about 200 hours. Yes, 200 hours from having about one Ferrishra. So it definitely saves you a lot of time, and is definitely like the first thing you should really craft, or one of the first things. Maybe not the absolute first thing, but definitely high priority to get it as soon as possible. Yeah, it saves a lot of time in the long run. It might not seem like much time initially, but it definitely makes up for it over time. And the time it takes to actually get one is definitely worth investing into it. Just doing the dungeons every day. And maybe occasionally throwing the 50 gems for the Sunday Diamond Day. Whoa, what on earth is that turn? Please end it. This is why I don't face this team ever. Even when using teams that are decent against it, it still fails. Actually, we haven't failed yet. We actually probably still won, but still. It's just ridiculous the kind of combos it can get. Same as Goblin Team. Goblin Team, if it feels like it can just randomly win whenever it wants. Ooh, interesting. We could take that, take a skull, take a skull, take a skull, and then take another skull. Interesting. It's a lot of skulls. Go throw Infernus here, and this should be the match. Oh wait, do we have alignment? Did I ruin the alignment? I probably just did. Oops, my bad. We'll throw Infernus in. And then we'll Divine Shabella kill it. Never mind, we'll throw Infernus. And let's match. Off of a skull, if we can find one. Skulls, where are you? Why do we not have skull alignment? I guess we'll just take that, let him poke us, because that gives us Infernus and dead. Gnomes are dead this weekend? I found 2 or 3 gnomes so far this weekend so far. Not that many, but yeah. Whenever it's not the gnome event, you find very, very few. It takes like 3 hours or so to find one gnome, approximately. Maybe even longer than that, depending on your win rate. Also, gnomes do not show up in Bounty Hunter. So, yeah, you're never going to find a gnome in that game mode. So, given that we're spending most of our time this week in that game mode, definitely not really getting that much.
Yeah, we found about 2 or so this weekend. Mostly, I believe, on the Guild War videos. Not during Guild Wars itself, because again, there's a 0% chance it can occur then. But during the battles after Guild Wars, we end up finding them. Okay, what do we even do here? I guess we go throw down a Infernus and move from there. I don't have Divine Isabella at the moment, so can't go for that. Otherwise, that would be what we'd go for there. And then we just throw a Diviner onto something that's extra turn, and then go into a Isabella for the kill. That's not aligned, but we might as well just kill it with Infernus, and down it goes. There we go. You've been playing for 3.5 months and reached level 1066. Very nice. But no mythics from keys. Ouch. That can happen. Because you accumulate mythics and such normally over time. Because it takes about it takes about 2 to 3 months just to be able to get enough diamonds to craft 1 mythic. And that's assuming you put all of your diamonds towards actually crafting a mythic. Not only that, but you haven't had as much time to really get as many resources from a guild. You have to keep in mind that a lot of people that have been playing this game have been playing for like maybe a year plus or multiple years by that level range. This game has been out for 3 years now and has gone through many economy shifts. And where it has been like easier or harder at given times. So there are quite a few people who have been playing for like 3 years plus, like myself, who have so many resources that is just absolutely insane and completely broken. But yeah, you do have to keep that in mind. Once you start reaching like level 1000 plus range, that you are going to be finding people that have been playing and have stacks of resources who might be completely free to play, but because they've been playing for so long, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they just have such an accumulation of resources that, yeah, it can seem intimidating sometimes. But yeah, as far as getting your first mythic, I think it takes most people about, I want to say 6 months? I don't know. On all my Let's Play accounts, I've gotten it within 1 month, but I guess I just gotten really lucky 3 times in a row. Because a lot of people do take around like level 500 to be able to get their first mythic on average. And of course anything beyond that could just be bad luck or because you're power leveling. Because of course it technically only takes about 1 month, I think. If someone was to power level with the only intention of gaining levels as quickly as possible, it takes about 1 month or so to reach level 1000 if your only purpose is to gain levels. So it actually doesn't take too long, but of course you gain so little resources in that time, and it would not be highly advised to power level. Power leveling is really bad to do in this game, because the negatives of having a higher level very outweigh the positives of having a higher level. So yeah, it's not really that advised. The only 2 really big positives of having a higher level are your hero gains slightly more stats by a very small amount, which helps in like things like arena and such, but then somewhat not helps you because you get matched based on level, so that doesn't really help much. But the main aspect that kind of helps having a higher level is regardless of how much you've been playing, having a higher level normally makes it easier to get into a guild. If you're a level 1000 trying to get into a better guild compared to, let's say, a level 200 trying to get into the better guild, even if that level 200 has better resources and like more mythics and such, it'd probably be easier for the higher level to get in, because just naturally, anyone who's a higher level, it's people who just naturally have played more. Even if they were just like power leveling, it's still technically playing more. So those people tend to more easily get into better guilds, since it shows that they've been playing for a longer amount of time, and it shows that they'd probably be decent in guild wars and such like that. And in the other game modes, like the, hey, speaking about gnomes, and then in the other game modes, like the raids and invasion and stuff. But anyways, let's go kill this gnome. Definitely need to go get that kill. We were just mentioning how rare he is. That's probably going to be the only one we're going to get this entire stream. But hopefully he'll have a vault key. That will definitely make it all worth it. He most likely will not, though, but oh well. Maybe. We can hope. We'll go get a Divine Isabella there. Get some damage down. Get some Infernus in there. And there we go. Get another Infernus. See what he does. Probably just poke us. Yep, a little poke. Get Infernus down. And there we go. Come on, vault key. Let's see that golden vault key. Ah, useless gold. No. I didn't look back at it, but we got more gold from winning the battle than we did from the treasure gnome. If you go back in the stream real quick, if we go back, let's see. We got, for doing that battle, we got 2,863 gold. For killing the gnome, we got 2,500 gold. We got 300 more gold for winning the PvP battle than we did for killing the gnome. That is very sad. Just shows how bad the gnome drop pool is sometimes. Anyways, I need to go back real quick. How much glory did we get from that battle? I think we might have revenge battled that too. 6 glory. Is that normally how much a battle is? No. Or yes, it is. Okay, so that was a normal battle. So it did give the normal amount of gold. But yeah, we got more gold from the PvP battle at the normal amount. Not even like at a higher amount. Just the normal PvP battle amount than we did from killing the treasure gnome. Wow. That is depressing. So that means it takes about 1 minute to gain the amount of resources a average treasure gnome would give, as of currently. Maybe even less than 1 minute, because the 2 trait stones it drops, that can be obtained in 30 seconds if you were doing a constant grind. Because you can easily win, well, not easily, you can easily win 3 times per minute, though it is possible to win 4 times per minute if diligently paying attention and everything like that. But yeah, there are teams that do allow 4 per minute, and they're pretty cheap too. You do need the kingdom upgrades for them to actually be able to do that, but something as simple as Sunbird, Rowan, Double Fire Bomb can potentially win 4 times per minute if you're like fully focusing on it with your fullest possible attention and doing every click as soon as you possibly can and going like completely hardcore mode on trying to be as efficient as possible. But yeah, I can do 4 per minute, which is 4 trait stones per minute, which means that 2 minor trait stones would easily be obtainable in 30 seconds to a minute. Anything good in the beta? Haven't really had the chance to really mess with it much, but no, it's a small patch. It's pretty much just bringing in a few little tweaks. Some of it I don't even believe. Some of it I don't believe is actually coming into the next patch, and some of it I believe they're also doing changes that aren't in the beta that are coming in next patch. But yeah, it's not really anything too interesting. It's pretty much stuff that already exists on console, as well as some tweaks to some already existing things within the game. I believe they are buffing treasure gnomes though, which is nice, because as I just mentioned, treasure gnomes are currently useless, and they will be doing a slight buff to them to make them slightly less useless. If I'm not mistaken, they're removing the minor trait stones and the souls from the treasure gnome drop pool, which means we can still get the useless 2,500 gold, but at least that's less useless than the 100 gold. I mean, the 100 souls. But yeah, they're tweaking that drop pool slightly to make it, to rebalance it. Because, of course, they made it a little bit worse to begin with, just to not make it too overpowered, and then they're going to be buffing it next patch. I don't think it's too big of a buff, but it's one of the nicer things coming in. I believe we're getting tasks as well that should be coming in. And other than that, it's basically just really small, trivial tweaks here and there, for the most part. Okay, we'll go and, or not trivial tweaks, but you know. There's a bunch of smaller tweaks of various stuff, most of which aren't really that relevant. Go for that and throw the Inferno down. But all the patches are like that nowadays. They do one major patch and then they do one smaller patch, and the one coming in next is just the smaller patch. An Explorer coming 2 to 3 gnomes in 2 to 3 minutes. The next 45 to 60 minutes, no more. I have had that happen before too, mainly only on the gnome events, but yeah, it can happen whenever if you get super lucky. But getting a bunch of gnomes back to back to back and then no gnomes for a really long amount of time. Also, I do not know when the next patch is coming out. I also don't know that aspect. Hopefully soon, because if they were beta testing it, we know it's probably kind of around the corner, because it's pretty much already done. Just a matter of bug fixing and them actually pushing it out. And by bug fixing, I mean they're going to release it with more bugs than than what even exists currently. That normally happens. Feels like every patch just adds more bugs to the game. Of course they fix it, but they basically fix a bunch of bugs every patch pretty much, but they basically add just as many bugs as they fix every time. So the amount of bugs within the game essentially is always the same amount. It's just, it's constantly changing. It's like a new meta every single time around whatever bugs are currently in the game. Okay, we'll go throw that down. It's pretty funny. Like, sometimes even the interaction of how troops work can completely change from patch to patch without it even being announced because they unintentionally change it. Also, that's something else that they should hopefully change. I don't think it's coming in next patch, but it's one of those weird bugs that never used to occur, but now occurs. You may have seen on that one Sunbird that re-revived that he was burned, but his burn little animation wasn't moving. That's a thing. For whatever reason, if you kill something and it re-revives and it had a status effect on it, and it still has the status effect applied to it after the fact, the animation for the status effect will be completely frozen and will not move. Because whatever's supposed to make it move is somewhere else and not functioning correctly. So yeah, it just doesn't do it. It's really strange, really weird, but yeah. There's nothing on this team that I could show it with, but if you do it on, let's say a Dragon Soul, you kill a Dragon Soul and it instantly burns after, and you basically burn the baby dragon that was already burned, the animation will not move. It'll just stay static and just stay there the entire time. It doesn't actually change anything mechanic-wise, but you know, it's one of those weird little glitches that used to not be a thing, but then became a thing. We'll go throw that down. And guess we'll throw that down. Get the explosion there. Do we have any free turns? Probably, but I'm not going to go for it. He'll die to burn anyways, so she'll die to burn, and down it goes. Looks like we'll reach about 6,000 PvP rating this week, which is pretty low. How many trophies are we even at? Guilds. I have a trophy requirement in my guild, but I barely ever even enforce it because the gold and all the other requirements are so much more important. But, like something like this, if someone goes like that much gold, but don't do this, but still do good in guild wars and everything, I normally don't mind that as much. Should probably start enforcing it a little bit more, but it happens. Anyways, because people do play other game modes other than just PvP, and unless you're specifically playing a lot of PvP in Arena, you're not really going to have that high of a trophy amount. The main one that really matters here is the gold, for the most part, because that determines how many free things we end up getting, whereas the trophies currently mean absolutely nothing in this game. The only thing they really go towards is this leaderboard over here, which makes it slightly easier to recruit for your guild, but that is about the only thing it really does. Beyond 1 million, you gain no additional benefit. And even the benefits that you gain from getting that trophy amount up is so trivial these days. It just increases the amount of daily gold you get. And I believe that daily gold that you get at max is 500. So that plus 600% is 3,000. Oh, well, you get the extra bonus. So it's actually 3,500. So that's all you would get is that extra 3,000 gold from that, which is barely anything. Compared to the current economy of the game. You could do that in like 1 PvP battle pretty much, maybe 2 at worst. Yeah. Anyways. Oh yeah, we can't show the beta. They will not let me. Otherwise I would. Anyways, let me go claim our gems and keep working towards those event keys. Good. Another person using a pure yellow team. That's exactly what I want to see. What do we even need here? We'll go throw the Mercy down. What do you mean by that? The summon is also wrong. It says that you summon a troop with the same level as yours, and the troop is level 1. Wait, does that happen with the Dragon Soul? I didn't even pay attention that it summoned a lower level, because I haven't really been using Dragon Soul much as of recently. I'm pretty sure it does it based on whatever your current baby dragon's at. So whatever stats your baby dragon currently has is what it would summon in at. That or it goes off the Dragon Soul's magic. So if it was maybe webbed or something, it may have came in at a level 1. Alright, we're going to do that, throw an Infernus. Actually, Isabel, never mind, Infernus. I did not have the Isabel. We'll go throw that down. And get the Infernus down, I mean the Isabel. And just convert. Get the magic buff, get the skulls. And then we just Infernus. And as match. There we go. Simple enough. Yeah, I'm not really sure what troop you're referring to, Xavier. But yeah, when I was talking about that gold earlier, look at that. When I was talking about, what number did I say? 3,500 gold that you get from the daily thing? Well, as bonus? Well, there you go. There's the exact amount of gold right there. Actually, technically, it only gives you 3,000 because the 500 would have been normal. So, yeah, it's like nothing that you get from trophy bonuses. I pretty much completely ignore it these days until they rework PvP system. They did mention they are going to be doing that this year. PvP will be reworked. I believe they said around, of course, schedule could change. But they said around, I believe, September and November, sometime towards the end of the year, they're planning on reworking the PvP system in the game. How much so, we do not know, but they that is one of their intentions. How will that go over? We do not know. What kind of changes they'll make? We do not know. But I almost feel like they're going to completely just overhaul the entire trophy system. Like, basically just delete it from existence, I feel like. Not sure if they will be doing that for sure. And there might be some backlash if they do end up doing that by some really dedicated players. But I honestly wouldn't mind if they did that. Mainly because the current trophy system leaderboard at the moment is based on basically whatever guild has been existing the longest. Simply because, realistically, newer guilds can't really compete with that leaderboard. Not like the leaderboard really even comes down to anything. But they just can't really get on it just because it takes such a ridiculously long amount of time. And the longer the game is released for, the harder it is to make that leaderboard. Let's see. Yeah, if you don't upgrade your baby dragon, it comes in at the... it's capped at the level range at which your baby dragon is. So if your baby dragon's only level 1, it's only going to be able to ever come in at level 1. You would need to go and level it all the way to like 16, 17, 18, so on and so forth. Or 15 if it's only common still. But yeah, you need to make sure to level it to get at that higher level. Ancient Horror will work the same way, as well as summons in general. If you ever like notice in like some of the other battles, like dungeons, things will summon in at like level 1 with nothing. Same thing will happen if you go and do that with your normal troops. For example, if you have, let's say, a... let's say we have... I don't have anything in this battle, so I don't have a good example. But let's say we have a Keeper of Souls. His final trait is he summons a white at a 50% chance whenever he gets a kill. Or whenever anything on your team gets a kill. So, 50% chance that'll happen. Let's say he summons the white. That white will come in at the exact level and traits and ascension of whatever your current white is. So let's say your current white is a rare at level 5 with no traits. Your white summon from him will be a level 5 at rare ascension with no traits. So, yeah, anything that is ever summoned off of a trait is going to come in that way. When they're summoned via a ability, the way that it works is it doesn't matter, I don't believe, what level your troop is, but it matters what ascension it is. So, for example, let's say you are going to use a dragon egg that summons a baby dragon. The level of that baby dragon will be determined by the magic level of the egg. So let's say your egg has 13 magic. Your baby dragon will come in at level 13. Let's say your egg has 16 magic, but your baby dragon is only level a common, so max level can only be 15. Then the egg will summon a level 15 baby dragon, since the level of the ascension cannot be any higher than the level of the troop. So, yeah, that's basically how it works. So, when you're summoning it, it's based on ascension. When you're bringing it in via a trait, it's based on whatever the current troop is, as far as what its stats, traits, everything is. And that's how summoning works. I don't think it's explained anywhere within the game, but that is how it currently works. How do you make a good deck? Easiest way to make a good deck, if you have absolutely no clue what to build, is build a team that's focused around a mana-generating tank, a damage source, a mana-generating troop, and a damage source. You can also do it mana generator, damage. You can also do it mana generator, damage, mana generator. But basically every team in Gems of War is formed around this premise, or at least with one mana generator. Always make sure you have at least one, because having 0 will just make the team extremely clunky and not really work. As you can see in this team, we have 2 of them doing mana generation purposes and working as tanks. We have the Mercy and the Diviner. Then we have 2 damage sources, well, the third of which actually also doubles as a mana generator. Actually, technically everything on this team doubles as a mana generator, but the main 2 are the front 2. But basically, every single team is built around this. You can even see his team is partially built around that. He has a mana generator in first slot, followed by 3 damage sources, with one of those damage sources also having the capability of also generating more mana. So technically, he is running a double mana generation as well. Basically, every team gets built around that. As far as early game teams that you build around it, you can build something like an Alchemist Moneylender followed by 2 damages. You can build anything around any of the single converts and build a frontline tank followed by a mana generator followed by 2 damage sources, which is slightly more like what his team is built around. Tank, mana generator, 2 damages. And yeah, that's pretty much how you build every team in this game for the most part. And yeah, there's almost no wrong team you can really build if you build it that way. Technically there are, but that's basically how every team in the game is built, or at least how you can build a generic team if you need to just get something built. When you first start out, you play lots of arena so you can learn the troops. Yeah, that also works too. Playing a lot of arena is definitely highly advised. It's the best way to gain souls early on, which will not only level all your troops, but like Demon or Angel mentions, it helps you learn a little bit how to build teams, as well as just getting exposed to troops mechanics and everything without really being penalized at all. Because you get, well, I guess you do get penalized some. You could lose a little bit of gold if you do really, really bad in it. But more often than not, you can really easily gain a lot of resources from it. Arena is pretty easy once you play it a couple times, and it exposes you to all the ultra rares and below in the game. It also allows you to see base level 15. Normally, if you're going to test troops, you need to get it to at least level 10. Hey, an arcane traits now. But to really test them in PvP and such. And in Arena, it's a lot easier to test things because it costs you nothing at all, except maybe a very, very small amount of gold. Okay, we'll go and take a red there. Go get an Infernus down. See if we get a Mercy. Perfect, exactly what we need. And if anyone has any team builds or questions you want me to go over, or anything in general, or need help building teams, let me know, and we'll definitely make sure to go over them. Otherwise, we're just going to be farming out for the rest of this stream. Just trying to grind the last of the yellow kills we need. Of course, this team has 0 yellows on it. Why? Why must he do that to us? But we're trying to grind out the last little bit of yellow kills we need. I think we still need about 100 more, I think. But we'll easily get that done between the stream tonight and tomorrow. You're currently using Baby Dragon, Dragon Egg, Dragotar, and Dragonet. Let's see. What do we need to replace from that team? I guess that's technically fine. Because you probably don't have Dragonian Rogue yet, so you wouldn't be able to replace that in. And, yeah, I guess that's perfectly fine what you're using right now. You'd want to put that onto a green-brown banner, because out of everything on your team, the most important thing to keep spamming is your, what's it called? Is your, Dragotar. Dragotar would be the best thing you could spam, mainly because you would want it to buff up all your stats. The only slight issue with that, though, which is the only slight downside to using a baby dragon on that team, is when a baby dragon converts, it loses all of its stats. This can be good and bad. For example, it'll be good in this guy's instance because he's about to, I'll go show, he'll go and convert, and then boom, he comes in with all of his base stats, and now he has no damage on him or anything like that. The downside to using Baby Dragon in first slot when you're specifically using a Dragotar, though, is if you buff the stats, like we have over here, our attacks and HPs are higher and stuff like that, and in the case of Dragotar, he buffs attack and armor, you lose all of those buffs when you transform. It transforms all the way into a normal troop. So that might be good in that you can use it better as a tank, but it's bad in that the battle will take longer because you aren't going to be able to do as much damage because all the buff that you got from maybe your initial Dragotar is going to be completely lost due to the convert. So it's a little bit of a trade-off there, but for the most part, that is something you might want to replace out if you're going to be using a Dragotar-centered team. Of course, when you're first starting out, you don't really have the luxury of being able to replace that out, but that is something you may want to do eventually. Especially since Baby Dragon has nothing particularly decent to transform into. As a newer player, while it is nice that you can just randomly get the Baby Dragon to transform into legends and stuff, since you don't have any of those legends upgraded or traded or anything like that, the troops that you might end up getting from it can be very weak sometimes, depending on what it ends up rolling. Luckily, most dragons are legends, so more often than not it is good, but it can completely backfire sometimes. And a troop could possibly be even weaker than what the Baby Dragon was. Oh, sorry, Painting. I missed your question again. I don't know why I'm so bad at missing your questions, or so good at missing your questions. Did I get the rewards? Also missed RapPF's question. Also, Janus, ouch. You got in level 1151 without any mythics from keys. Ouch. It does happen sometimes, but that is quite unfortunate if that does. Let's see. While your family member is level 500 in the same amount of time, and he got Guard's avatar already, very nice. Yeah, it does happen. It's completely random on if you get lucky or not from them. Like I mentioned earlier, every single Let's Play account I've done so far, at under level 100, all of them have gotten their first mythic. In under level 100 and under 1 month, all of them have gotten a mythic so far. On the most recent one, it was Draculus. On the other ones, I think it was War and Aurora, Queen Aurora. I think one other one on one of the other accounts. I can't remember off the top of my head. Did I get the reward for 20 bounties? Any sigils? Yes. Yeah, yes. We do have sigils left. I currently am saving them for, well, not really saving them, but I'm just not doing them yet. We are currently on the top 100 leaderboard. We're also, we've also gotten all the rewards. So I slightly overbought them, apparently. But with that being said, we'll at least have a guaranteed chance at getting at least one orb from the leaderboard thingy. So at least we're getting that, if nothing else. But yeah, we pretty much have a guaranteed chance at that. Because I believe most people on the leaderboard right now only bought 6 packs instead of the 7th. I probably should have done the same thing, but I did that just to make sure I could get them up to epic rarity instead of only ultra rare. Let's see. What else did I miss? Someone else just mentioned something. Your 3.25 Sunbird Rowan Double Firebomb team still working on Explore? Yes, but you wouldn't be getting any souls, so you're probably better off using your soul farming team. The only reason I specifically do not use soul farming teams in Explore is because I have no need to farm souls, and there doesn't appear to be any content coming in the near future that's going to be requiring a ridiculous amount of souls. There's a possibility they'll release Dawnbringer 2.0, in which they'll basically be adding another mythic weapon to the game, and that might end up costing 1.3 million souls. But they have no intention on doing that yet. They still want to find a fix for Dawnbringer in Arena, as well as just for Dawnbringer being overpowered in general. I'm pretty sure they're not going to fix it for PvP and such, but they do want to fix it in game modes that do use it, like, for example, Arena. That is their main concern, because it completely unbalanced Arena. Arena's already been pretty unbalanced for a while, because it hasn't really been that big of a focus of theirs, but still, it's extremely unbalanced these days, ever since Dawnbringer, and they are trying to find a fix for that, and before they add another mythic weapon, so it could still be some time before that occurs. That's the only thing that's really ever going to come up that I can think of that's really going to require a lot of souls. So yeah, I've just been using quicker teams instead of the slightly slower teams that gain souls. I'm instead using just pure speed teams that are focused only on gaining trait stones, as well as getting basically wins as quickly as possible. And this increases the chance of getting gnomes, as well as the chance of just getting more resources in general and more battles in there. Okay, we'll go and what do we even need to do here? Ah, you got the kill. Okay, we'll go get a poke here. And now it's just a poke war. He'd even go for the double skull. Nor can we. I guess I'll just go for Infernus there. That's actually enough to kill due to magic buff. Do you get more bounty points playing bounties on a lower battle with 3 or 4 bounty troops, or playing battle 20 with 2 bounty troops? It depends. It depends a lot on what your current bonuses are. Again, we got a double revenge again. Interesting. But anyways, yeah, it's we end up doing the math as our current bonuses. It's actually the exact same score playing battle 16 with 3 troops as it is to play battle 20 with 4. So yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Both of these are the exact same thing. And let's see, what's the next thing? If we go use 4 of these, what is the highest battle we'd need to do? I don't think that would be realistic, because we'd probably have to win like battle 12 with it, which is near impossible and would take forever. So never mind. So yeah, the only 2 viable really ones to do, at least for people that are capable of doing all of them, is 16 with 3 or 20 with 2. Those are the best value as of this current week. That might change as future weeks though, because as there becomes more synergies with them, we might be able to get away with using triples more often. And it might actually be meta to use triple at a lower than it is to use 2 on a higher. You definitely won't be able to use 3 on a higher though, unless they change up the teams or the battle for 20 is just ridiculously easy on a given week. But yeah, that's currently what you use, either 3 on 16 or 2 on 20 for this week. And you aren't going to be able to get any better value than that. Anyways, while we're here, let's go throw in a battle. Why not? We still have plenty of sigils left, and we'll be spending... Hey, we even got a Raven. We're actually going to profit sigils from doing this battle. That's kind of funny. Assuming we actually get him killed. We have lost about 9,000 points worth of... well, 9,000 points. We lost it because 1 Raven got away, which is 2 battles, which is 6,400 points. And then we lost one of the battles when we did 3 on one of the battles where we should have done 2. Where I then just transformed it into 2 and just kept it that way. Because you do reach a point where you can't really do it with 3 anymore. Maybe eventually we'll be able to do all the battles with 3. As of currently, though, it is near impossible unless you get really lucky. And even if you can do it, it's going to take such a ridiculously long amount of time, it wouldn't even be worth it. You'd be better off just doing it with 2 and then spending the rest of your time in PvP. So that's another factor to consider, too. It could just be more profitable. Even if you could do, like, let's say 3 or 4, it might just be quicker to do 2 and just stay with 2 and do it that way. Because the amount of extra time it would take to win with 3 or 4 bounty troops would be so much that if you were to spend that time on literally any other piece of content in the game, you'd probably gain more resources overall just doing that other content than you would grinding out the actual game mode. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the meta is pretty much just going to be use 4 initially on the easier battles, then eventually switch over to 3, then at some point just switch over to 2, and then just keep doing 2 the entire time, and just stick with that for the entire time. So you do have to factor in time, though, to it. Because if we are getting... Let's say we can get... let's say the 16 battle. We can get slightly more bonus on this one. Like, we actually would be if we had any higher multiplier. Like, if our parrot or our other troop was upgraded to be slightly higher, we'd be getting more points off of this one. The problem with that is, though, it would take us more time. And overall, would that be worth it compared to just doing PvP? If it takes us, let's say, like 2 hours more to finish out all of our sigils... Would it be worth saving that extra amount of gems to not get 2 hours worth of gold in PvP, which is easily like 400,000 plus gold? So, I don't know. We'd have to consider that trade-off in the future. Not sure which way would be better. This depends on what kind of new troops they add to Bounty Hunter. Maybe they'll add something really good. Who knows? Currently, the best Bounty Hunter troop is Parrot, which is not really that good. There currently isn't a proper damage source under these troops. There also isn't a proper mana generator under these troops. So once both of those come, maybe that will change things up a little bit. Like the second we get a good mana generator for this, it will really start changing things up. But yeah, all we really need is if we can get one good bounty hunter troop that's good at mana generating and one that's really good at doing damage, we could easily start doing triple. But currently those did not exist and probably won't for a while, since only one new bounty hunter troop is coming in every 3 weeks. So it's going to take a very long amount of time before realistic triple bounty hunter and quad bounty hunter teams ever come into the game. We are very far away from ever seeing a 4 times, though, especially if they're going to release all of them to be as useless as the current ones. They're not completely useless, especially not the parrot, but they're not really good at any particular role, except maybe the parrot. Parrot's good at silencing, but that's the only one. This guy, every mana drainer is better than him. And the other one, well, I guess the other one's slightly unique. He knocks something all the way to the back, which is something that's kind of already exists, but I don't believe it's normally targetable on all the other troops that exist on. Now we'll go throw that down, get an explosion down, get the Infernus. When does bounty end? Bounty ends on the timer that it says, which is 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. And if you don't know what time that is, simply click on the Bounty Hunter thing, and it tells you under Bounty Hunter exactly how much time remains. It occurs once per month and lasts from Friday at reset time at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until Monday at reset time at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I'll go show that in a second if you don't know exactly where that is. It's a little bit grayed, so it's slightly hard to see. I know those grayed text I sometimes forget to look at as well, because it kind of hides. Like these things right here, you barely even notice they're there sometimes. Anyways, if we go under games, it tells you right there. It's in 1 day and 14 hours is the exact amount of time. So 1 day, 14 hours and some amount of minutes. So probably 1 day, 14 hours and 35 minutes. Actually, we can get the exact time. It's the same timer as the event switchover. So if we go over to the event, it is exactly 1 day, 14 hours, and 34 minutes you have to do Bounty Hunter. And if you don't do it by then, you will lose any benefits that you could have gotten from it. So definitely make sure to do it within that time. But that's how much time you have left to do all of your sigils. And of course, you'll be getting another 4 free sigils tomorrow as well, as they'll hand out. So don't forget to use those 4 if you've already used up all of yours that you currently have, because there'll be slightly more tomorrow. But yeah, that's how much time you have. 1 day, 14 hours, and 34 minutes, or you can simply look on the other page here. It doesn't show the amount of minutes, but obviously you don't really need it down to the exact minute. You kind of get the general idea from that timer. Anyways, claim our little bit of defend rewards. Almost nothing, but hey, it's better than literally nothing. Anyways, how is our bounty hunter even looking right now? I'm pretty sure I'll just do the rest later, but I'm just scrolling all the way down. We can already see we're at number 91. Let's see, what's the minimum right now? It looks like the minimum by the end of the week is going to be 220,000, I think. Because, of course, there's going to be 4 more battles. Actually, because of that, that means I have to hire all the scores by, at minimum, 3,200, plus the other 2 battles. So let's say 6 battles. Let's even be generous, add 8 battles. So it's going to be 3,200. So it's going to be about 235,000, about 240,000. 235,000 to 240,000 is the approximate amount of points you would need to make the leaderboard. If you're interested in making top 100, anyone out there. So yeah, that's approximately how much you would need. And to make number 1, you need about 4,000 gems as of currently to throw at it. So if you have 4,000 gems and the time to play that many battles, that's how much you would need to go get that power orb. And of course, that keeps increasing by the second because they're both probably competing for it. Their scores are very close to each other, so they both probably want that first place location to try to get that power orb. Because that is a pretty big difference compared to 2 major orbs. Because it takes 12 major orbs to make 1 power orbs. So technically making first place is 6 times more profitable. Not to mention the gems you also get. But it's 6 times more profitable than making second or third. So obviously if someone's getting that far, they're going to want to make first. Because the value for second and third is so much less than first place. Yeah, Bounty Hunter out of any of the other newer game modes, I do have to say, is set up pretty nicely. It's not mandatory, so you don't have to do it. It has a really good reward system, so it pays off very well for your time. And it introduces new troops in a different way than the other game modes. Because the other game mode troops are basically only good within the game mode, whereas the Bounty Hunter troops do have a slight purpose outside of the game mode. While they're still pretty weak, they at least still are usable. Like the Parrot. You could still use a Parrot in a realistic team. It's basically an early game silent one for people who don't have silent one. There's also a spammable silent one since it doesn't silence itself after its ability. So it has some potential. You only use 3k gems. But yeah, I was saying for the leaderboard was 4,000 though. The people above you. Let me see. What was it? Oops, wrong leaderboard. Games. So maybe they're only 3,500 then. But yeah, they're about 100,000 above you. So that would be more than 3,000 gems then. By some amount. I calculated it out earlier and it came out to about 3,500 to 4,000. Or I assumed by the end of the week it would be about 4,000. But I think it came out to like 3,600 they spent. Somewhere around there. When I calculated it out earlier. Somewhere around that general ballpark. We'll go take the purple. Of course, it's hard to account for how many ravens people get. Because, of course, some of them can escape. And also, people can get lucky or not as lucky with them. And I might have slightly underestimated the amount of ravens people get. I've been getting pretty bad luck with them as of recently. Or I think it's pretty bad luck. I don't even know if it is or isn't. I don't really have a point of comparison. What is the quickest way to get event or gem keys? There is almost no quick way to get either of those 2 resources. Yeah, there's just no quick way. Easiest way is to get them from free from your guild, slowly over time. That's the only really easy way of getting them. As far as quick ways, none exist. There's just none that exist. That's pretty much just it. Anywhere where you see where you can get event keys, and going for those opportunities are about the best way to do it. Like, for example, right now, if you kill 3,000 yellow troops in PvP, you will get 75 gems, which you can put towards either gem keys or event keys. And you'll also get 9 event keys from the final thing, which is what we're trying to get right now. So, in a way, that's one of the extra ways that you can get it. But yeah, basically just guild. The only other way you can kind of farm it is like treasure maps. But the problem with that is treasure hunt is very low resources per hour for late game players. And we'd be better off just spending your time in PvP. And then donating your resources to the guild. Yeah, a good majority of all of the resources you see as far as like my gem keys and my everything, basically all my resources, like 80% of it, maybe even 90%, is coming from the guild, from specifically legendary tasks and such. Legendary tasks are really, really, really good as far as just yielding resources. There used to be a lot better, but still, compared to other options, they're still one of the best. Because per person, if you divide this by 30,000, assuming every single person does the exact same amount to your guild, if we go and divide 1 million by 30, what is that? I actually don't know what it comes out to. Some kind of repeating thingy. It comes out to 33,000. Wait, I didn't do that right. No way. Is it really that cheap? I didn't actually realize it's that cheap per person. It is. It comes out to only 33,333 gold per legendary task if every single person in your guild was to contribute the exact same amount. So that is pretty cheap because you're basically buying gem keys, event keys, glory, other resources, legendaries, and stuff like that for 33,333 gold each time, assuming every single person in your guild contributes the exact same amount. So that's a relatively cheap amount, and you can get that amount of gold in about 5 to 10 minutes in PvP. So yeah, you can farm up a lot of resources, probably more towards 10 minutes, but you can get a lot of resources just by spamming legendary tasks. And if your entire guild is having that mindset, that's where you can get a good bulk of your resources from. And that's where I get most of mine. I think my guild does about 30 or so legendary tasks. There are definitely guilds that do a lot more than that, but that's still pretty high up there. Definitely top 1%, maybe even top 0.1%. Hard to tell these days, but yeah, just having your entire guild investing into that is one of the easiest ways ever to gain resources. Yeah, finding a very active guild that's within your amount of contribution you want to do per week is the best thing you could do. If you plan on, if you can easily, well, first you need to make sure you get all your kingdoms to level 10, because that's the biggest gold sink you have to deal with earlier on. But after you do that, definitely look to try to get a better guild that you want to commit yourself to for a while that's within your amount of playtime per week. So if you can easily do 300,000 gold per week, or about that much, you'd want to find a guild that does that much. If you can easily do 500,000 gold per week, you'd want to find a guild that's doing that much. And at that threshold, your guild should be completing every single task per week if your minimum is 500,000 or higher. And you can even try finding guilds that have like 1 million plus like mine, as well as probably a few other top guilds that are similarly set up in that fashion. And any of those kind of guilds are getting multiple dozens of legendary tasks done per week, which is very nice. And this is a bunch of resources on top of the normal resources you would be accumulating. Yeah, highly advised if you're playing this game long term and you've already reached like mid game and gotten like level 10 all kingdoms and stuff like that. Highly advised, at minimum, be in a guild that completes all the basic tasks every week. Doesn't matter if they're doing too many legendary tasks, though it does help. But definitely make sure they're at least doing every single basic task, because that gives pretty good value. Fortunately, a lot of people don't seem to be doing that, or it could just be that a good bulk of players are more towards the casual side, which is understandable. But on Steam version, if we go under this real quick, if we go under here, only I think like 2.1% of people on Steam have actually gotten every task done in a week, which means, yeah, probably only about 1% of guilds are actually able to do that. Yeah, actually even less. Look at that. Team Synergy. Complete all guild tasks in a single week. Only 1.3% of people have done this. I keep forgetting how low this number actually is. I always think it's a lot higher than it actually is these days because of how easy it is to gain gold, but apparently not still. But yeah, 1.3% is the amount of people that do this per week, but it's definitely highly advised to be a part of that 1.3% because completing every single guild task in a week is a lot of free resources for doing almost nothing. You can get the amount of gold that it takes for a guild that does that. It only takes about 3 to 4 hours of PvP, maybe 5, to be able to reach 500,000 gold, which is about the minimum guild requirement guild you would need to be in to be able to get every task done per week. And yeah, doing that would give you, yeah, a lot of resources per week overall, and barely any time to do so. So highly, 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 highly advised to do that. Of course, that assumes you have dragon armor and everything like that, but most people have dragon armor. Or Death Knight armor, of course, if you want to spend $50 for that. Both of them give the same gold bonus, though. Anyways, yeah, definitely just try being one of that 1.3%. Let's see. For bounty, what order for the following troops? Azura, Parrot, Wraith, Red Lynx. Well, you won't be able to get too far with using that team, but if you were to use that team, you'd... what order would you use that? The problem is you don't have a proper damage source, so you're probably only going to be able to get to battle 12, 13, or 14 with that team, if even that far. I think the team or the order you already have it in seems perfectly fine. I don't think you even need to change up that order. Because if you're going to use specifically that team, that would be the order you would use it in. Though, do keep in mind you're not going to be able to get too far other than like maybe 12, 13, or maybe 14 with it. Maybe not much further than that. Until you have to switch into a double team with 2 troops on it. Also, hello Joe T, welcome. Yes, the code is dead. We've already handed out both the codes. We handed them out once we reached the 2 bounty reward thingies. We already finished out Bounty Hunter though. Now it's just a leaderboard grinds for once. I'm only trying for top 100. But yeah. We still have some battles left, as you can see. I guess we'll go do one more real quick. But, yeah, I'll finish out the good bulk of them tomorrow, most likely, and maybe some later tonight. Alright, we'll go take a brown here. Where are the browns? Main objective is getting done the PvP, though, because we're not really gaining much more resources from doing this. And we'll probably already reach it by tomorrow. I don't even think I need to go use all my shizzles. I probably bought more than I even need. But, yeah, I do at least want to make top 100. Because one free orb, if that becomes a blue orb, that would be amazingly good. Though we gotten pretty unlucky with orbs so far. The smaller orbs. Our bigger orbs are on perfect luck right now. We're at 1 of every single orb, so that's perfect as far as the drop rate. But currently we're really bad on the smaller orbs. We have 5 purple, 5 orange, 3 green, and only 1 blue. The most useful possible orb, and we only have 1 of it. Quite unfortunate. Good morning, Ray. Welcome, welcome. Also, happy St. Patrick's Day. I haven't said it for a while. I did end up saying at the beginning of the stream and everything, but any of you that are celebrating it, happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive. Be safe out there. But, yeah, if any of you are going to be doing that, have fun. Though I'm pretty sure most people won't be doing that till later today. That wouldn't be something you would really do in the morning. It's like, it's noontime, let's go get hammered. Okay, let's go throw Infernus down. I guess some people might do that. I guess if you're chilling the entire day, which you might do on a Saturday, I guess that wouldn't be too bad of a thing to do. Anyways, we're going to go and throw the Gorgultha down. Corned beef and cabbage. I'm not eating anything special for today. I'm probably just going to grab something real quick. Might even just go grab a burger somewhere or something. Nothing too interesting for today. That or maybe like just a standard small sandwich or with a salad. Keep it very basic. Oh, the second treasure gnome of the... Wait. Oh, never mind. I thought that was the treasure... Wait, does the treasure gnome make the same sound as a Valraven? I forgot we were even in this game mode. I thought I switched back to PvP. I didn't mean to play another one of these battles. Fail. But, I totally thought that was a... what's it called? A treasure gnome. Did they seriously use the exact same sounds? That's weird. Come on. Can they not make a Raven sound audio clip? Okay. We'll go and... do I even need to move here? We'll take the yellow. Yeah, the bigger orb of clans gives 1,500 seals. But you want to make sure you have 1,500 first. If you use either of the orb of clans prior to having 1,500 seals, you are going to lose a lot of value. because whatever the difference is between having 1,500 and not having 1,500, you do not get back. So let's say you have a smaller orb, this gives 300 seals. Let's say you're at 1,300 seals. You use that orb of clans, you now have 1,600 seals, but now you're unable to gain any more seals. So you're basically stuck, incapable of gaining any more. And with that being said, that's a bit of an issue, because with not being able to gain any more seals, you are basically losing that difference. So let's say, like in that instance, if you were to use that 1,300 and go to 1,600, you just lost 200 seals, because you cannot get that 200 seals back. That was the difference between them. But if you go and, for example, wait till you have 1.5 thousand, which is the max amount that you could possibly have, and then you go and use your orb, then you get the full amount. And you still get the full boost, and you get the full amount of seals for yourself. But yeah, be very careful with the orb of clans. It is not explained anywhere within the game itself, but you want to make sure you use them after you have 1.5k. You do not want to use them ever prior to 1.5k, as you're basically wasting the entirety of them. Yeah, I really wish there was like a little notification thing on that page or something. Nowhere does it say anything about that, but do be very careful, because you could very easily waste your Orber clans. The main purpose you'd want to use them for is if you have already hit 1.5k, you would want to use it to either boost your guild to 20,000 or more ideally to 40,000. So if your guild's the kind of guild that only ever gets to, let's say, 35,000 on average per week, and you want to close that gap, and maybe a few other people have some Orber clans, you can go use all of your Orber clans together after you've hit 1.5k, and then that will be able to close the gap that you need in order to get the maxed out chest for opening your seals with. That's the main purpose that you'd really use them for. Let's see. You max seals on day 2. Yeah, it's really good value to actually max seals on Guild War weeks. I personally don't bother rushing it, but you get slightly additional seals if you do, which is kind of nice. Because if you do that, there's another mechanic in this game that has that weird kind of not working towards your total thing, or working towards your total, which means you don't get it. But the guild, every single Guild War day, if you win your Guild War battle, you get 50 seals. So why am I going to the wrong page every single time? If we go into Guild Wars, every single day that you win your Guild War battles to the other guilds, you end up getting 50 seals. And this 50 seals counts towards your total. But if you've already hit 1,500, you get that on top of your total. So if you were to go and get 1,500 seals on Monday, which very few people do, but some people do who play a lot, I think it takes about 3, 4, 5 hours or so. So that's pretty easy to do in a day, though I personally don't bother doing that. But if you were to do that, before Guild Wars even starts, you could be getting 50 additional seals every single one of these times. And 50 seals, if you have your guild ends up reaching the max amount of seal capacity, that is basically 2.5 gem keys, essentially. So if you were to go and max out your seals before the end of Tuesday, you would be able to get potentially, what would that be then? That would be potentially 15 extra gem keys, essentially, in a given Guild War week. So putting it that way, you can actually get a lot of free gem keys. I never really looked at it that way. But, yeah, that's basically what you could get. You potentially could get 15 additional gem keys if you were to max your seals by the end of Tuesday and assumably win every single Guild War day. Though that is slightly hard to do at higher brackets, as some of the best guilds in the game don't even have the capability of doing that because they fluctuate back and forth between brackets. That would be a little bit easier to do earlier on in the game if you're at a very low bracket range. Right now, we might be able to win today. The only reason we look like we're so low is we haven't even done half our battles yet. So most of the people in my guild do it more towards later in the day, which is why we still have that gap. But yeah, we're actually probably in like rank 4 or 3 right now, even though it doesn't look like that. The only reason we're so far down is we haven't done a good bulk of our battles. And I think some people haven't done any of their battles yet, but similar to myself, I always do it later in the day during our later stream. I got very lucky with bounty rewards. 2 orbs of ascension and 2 major orbs of ascension. Oh, wow. Very nice. I got pretty much full trash on mine, other than the major orb of clans, which I actually don't mind. Pretty nice. Let's see. What troops that do high damage do you have? Oh, never mind. Yeah, as far as building a really strong team without an Infernus, You could easily replace out a Garuda. You can even go in and replace out Goblin Rocket. It's low damage per turn, but high damage overall if you're not in Guild Wars. Or even in Guild Wars, you can still use it, but he deals a pretty small amount of damage, but he's a pretty good replacement if you ever need an alternative red-yellow damage source. He explodes your gems, which means you gain 70% of the mana of whatever he explodes. He deals in that 3x3 area. He then deals damage to a random enemy and then a small amount to adjacent enemies. That might seem bad, it's only 1 damage to adjacent, but that's good at removing barriers. So you at least got that aspect of it. But it also automatically gains an extra turn, which allows it to do really interesting board control setups. And basically the whole premise of Goblin Rocket is to keep it on his turn perpetually forever. And you can very easily infinitely loop him with an Alchemist Moneylender, as well as just with multiple versions of himself. Because he gains such a great red Firelink there. If you have, like, let's say 3 of them on a team with maybe, like, let's say an Alchemist, you could use that for Red Guild War Day, and then boom, you got yourself a pretty much infinite loop team that can do all the damage you would need. And on PvP teams, you can easily sub in things like World Breaker, Guard's Avatar, Infernus with a Goblin Rocket. It might be a lot slower to win, but it's still really high damage output. A Goblin Rocket could potentially be more damage output per turn than Infernus, World Breaker, or any of those other troops, because he has a lot better chance at infinitely looping than the other ones. While the other ones still have the chance of doing it, Goblin Rocket has the best chance, and while his damage is relatively low, the amount of turns that he could give you could make up for the lesser amount of damage. Even though he's only an ultra rare, I would probably consider him as one of the top 10 troops in the entire game, just due to how viable he is at keeping it on your turn. He's one of actually the best troops in the game for keeping it on your turn specifically, because he has both board control and automatic turn, which is very rare. Very few troops have it. Most of the troops that do have it are goblins, and out of all of them, Goblin Rocket not only has both the board control and an extra turn, but he also has mana generation, which no other troop has other than Goblin Shaman. But Goblin Shaman is pretty inconsistent due to it being pretty low amount of spawn. It isn't as good as a Goblin Rocket. Not to mention, Goblin Shaman does not have a +1 mana, so he does not have that going for it. He does have a lower mana cost, but the +1 mana that the Goblin Rocket has is way better than having a 1 lower mana cost. Oops, I didn't realize it was frozen. Fail. Luckily, it's already over for the battle, and down it goes. Yeah, it's much better to craft a Fair Shroud than Ella Grim, for sure. 100%. Fair Shroud's Fair Shroud's the best thing you can craft, so everything. Fair Shroud is better to craft than anything in the game. There isn't anything better than a Fair Shroud to spend your diamonds on. Not even close. Well, actually, as a newer player, I could see justifiably to go for like a Dragon Soul, or maybe even a Divine Isabella or something like that. But for the most part, once you start getting to later game and just in general for overall value, you probably would want to wait for the Fair Shroud. But if you're only at like 1,000 diamonds and you see a Dragon Soul and you have like no other soul team, yeah, it's definitely worth going for a Dragon Soul. I would definitely do so. Okay, we'll go take a purple here. Move that over. Move the blue. Move everything else. Maybe get a Mercy. Go take a green or something. Actually, we'll go throw that down. See if we can get a Mercy going here. Can we get a Mercy? No Mercy? No Mercy. Okay. Nothing we're going to be able to do with that then. I guess we'll just take a brown and hope for something to cascade. Apparently not. He just buffs himself because he has nowheres to move that. I will go take that convert. Throw an Infernus. Get a that all out of the way. Get our convert right here. Get a bunch of skulls. Take the skull over. Throw an Infernus. And there we go. Now we're going to have to deal with all of these constantly reviving baby dragons. I didn't even notice that. That's funny. That is really funny. How did I not notice that? Both the dragon egg and the baby dragon have a chance of summoning a baby dragon now. Of course, Dragon Soul summons it with full mana, which is quite a bit better. But still, I kind of forgot that the dragon egg also has the chance of doing it. It's funny. Anyways, too bad they're both not yellow. That'd be quite convenient, since that's would be helpful. Since our goal right now is to kill a bunch of yellows. That's one of the main things that we're actually trying to grind out right now. If anyone has any other questions, team builds, or anything you want me to mess around with or anything of such, feel free to leave them. Also, hello, Gary. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And there's our revenge battle. How close are we on the current event? I should almost be done with it. Oh, never mind. It's already on the page. 2 and 9. Wait, why is it all the way over there? Change location. Yeah, we only need 91 more, which isn't too many. And Should probably be able to finish that just with the 2 guild wars and then the normal amount of PvP we'd normally do. But, yeah, we'll keep grinding towards that. Only 91 more. Now 90 after this battle. What do you need to buy at minimum to get all the bounty rewards? The minimum is 6, though starting next time the bounty hunter comes around, it is probably going to be 7, though it's hard to tell at the moment. But currently the minimum for this week, if you haven't done any of your bounty yet, or bought in any of the packs, it would be 6 to be able to reach the max amount of every reward. And if you're losing some of them, possibly 7. And on all following weeks, it might also still be 7. Because they made it 20 to 25% cheaper this week to be able to reach every reward. The reason for this is since Bounty Hunter is so new and no one has any of the troops for it, or at least didn't have any of the troops prior to this, they made it slightly lower amount of points since there were no troops of that kind already in the game. So to make it slightly easier, they lowered the amount of points you needed this week. So yeah, basically on a normal week, you'd basically have to buy 7 packs, I think, to be able to reach it. Maybe 6, but it would be cutting it very, very close, and would come down to Raven luck a lot on if you would actually be able to do it with only 6. But yeah, you'd pretty much have to throw 7 each time. 6 would cost 1,110 gems. 7 would cost 1,310 gems. So that would be the cost to get all the rewards. So it really just depends on if you find the rewards it gives to be worth that. Do keep in mind you do get some gems throughout the things, not only from actual gem amounts, but also from the vault keys. The vault keys could drop potential gems in the hundreds of amount, so that could make up for it some. But for the most part, it still easily costs over 1,200 gems or so to be able to get every reward, even with the gems you get back. Unless you get like really lucky on like the vault keys, even then, it's still going to cost like upwards of 1,000 for every reward. But you are getting quite a bit out of that. You're of course getting the 2 vault keys and whatever they have in it. You're getting the orbs. You're getting 3 minor orbs and 2 major orbs, and you're also getting the other keys and trait stones throughout the way. The trait stones are completely irrelevant to me, but of course the keys are still pretty relevant. I think you get several dozen gem keys, which I guess you could technically take out of that value. Actually, I should probably break that down and see what it actually comes down to. So let's say we spend the full 1,310. Of course, it would be hard to determine the value of a vault key. But on average, I believe a vault key does give about 120 gem worth of resources. Could give more, could give less. But I think average is about 120 or so. Definitely at least 100. So I guess we'll count them as 100 gems then. When we go and count them for how much gems they're worth. So let me go calculate it out real quick. I haven't actually bothered doing that for the entirety of the thing. So we might as well see what that comes down to. Let me go throw a Mercy here. That gives us an Infernus. Go throw that down. And that gives us Diviner. And if this battle would ever end, we can go do maths. Okay, we'll go and I guess let's throw a Mercy there. Divine Isabella, do we have alignment on you? Yes, if he doesn't ruin it. We could actually lose this if we're not careful. We just lost. Okay, let's go and do that on purple. I think we just lost. Luckily, we got a... Oh, no, we didn't get a cleanse. Never mind. We were just not frozen on yellow. Okay, we'll go take that. Throw an Infernus down, which is mainly just going to hit barriers, but if we could just get one more skull, that'd be great. Ah, he got a good drain, and he got Dawnbringer off of it. Oh, that's enough damage to kill me. We got to win with just Diviner. Go. No, we lost. Diviner's just going to kill itself. Wow. The Nyx team got me. This is why I hate Nyxes. Okay, we'll go and throw the skull down. I got to make sure I don't even take extra turns. If we take extra turns, we kill ourselves. Actually, just for fun, we should probably go just do that real quick just to see what will happen. I don't think I've ever seen Diviner actually kill itself. Let's see. We'll move that over. Okay, we'll go do this on blue. I need one more extra turn. Come on, somewhere's extra turn. Go. There we go. We can take this right here. Yep. But apparently it works. It can indeed destroy itself with a ascend, or whatever the thing is called. The I forget what its trait is called. But yeah, it can kill itself off of it. We already knew that, but I think that's the first time we ever gotten to see it though. The Transcend. Oh, he's using 4 Mummified King. Good job. Anyways, that's actually the easiest thing for us to possibly kill. It's one of the weakest troops in the entire game. Anyways, let me go and check this real quick. So what is the full value of doing this? How much do we actually get from this? So let me go calculate out the total amount of rewards. Or maybe I should go do that later. I don't know, let me just do the gem-related stuff. So we know there's 105 gems, specifically. We did that earlier. Now let's do the gem keys, and we'll count them at 9 gems each. So there's 3, because that's how much you get if you buy them in bulks of 450. So 1 gem. Let's see, 1 gem key. 1, 4, 9, 13, 18... And there we go. Okay, 18. So let's go get the calculator. So 18 times 9 plus 105. And we're counting both of those keys as 100. So plus 200. So that's 467 gems. So not counting the gold, not counting the souls, and not counting the trait stones. Not counting the diamonds. And what else do we not count? Yeah, and that's basically it. So just the orbs alone... We are paying, what do we minus from this? 1,310. So to get every reward, we are essentially paying 843 gems to get all of this amount of gold, however much it is, all this amount of souls, all this amount of trait stones, and all of the orbs. So that's not too bad, actually. That's coming down to about, I guess you could say 100 gold per normal orb, and 250 gold per major orb is basically what that comes down to in this case. So that's, I don't know, personally for my needs, that is actually really decent value. So yeah, and plus we get all the trait stones and everything. So I personally find it worth it. Oh, also you get 4 celestials too and all that, but yeah, that's not too bad. If you break all that down as far as what you're actually getting, as far as that. It's still pretty expensive, and it's still you're still paying out the gems, so that is gems leaving the game. It is supposed to be a gem sink after all. That's what a good majority of these little things are supposed to do, is remove the excess of gems that are in the game. The only problem with that is it makes you super pay to win, because every single person who's accumulated like 10, 20, 50,000 gems has a distinct advantage over every single other person. Like ourselves, who has like 9,000 gems right now. Obviously, I wouldn't waste that many on the thing, but there are people that have multiple tens of thousands. But I guess that's one way of fixing it. If nothing else, maybe in a couple months down the line, so many gems would have been burned through that basically everyone will basically be at the same amount of gems for the most part. Probably more towards around like the 5,000 mark or so. Anyways, oops, did I just accidentally use my no, I'm accidentally in Bounty Hunter, aren't I? Rip. I tried going all the way back to PvP and somehow clicked all the way into Bounty Hunter. Okay, I might just need to end the stream. I'm starting to lose it. Starting to lose my focus. Okay, we're gonna take that down. Bounty troops are craftable? Wait, are they? Hold up. Are they craftable? Are they going to be within the thingies? The little Soul Forge thing? I don't think they currently are. They definitely aren't currently. But they might be in the future. But even if they were, you'd have to waste so many resources to try to get them. But then again, they're rare, so you do get 2 copies every single time, but still. I don't know if that would actually be worth it. Unless there was specifically something else in that drop pool that you really needed. But all late game players basically have all that at Mythic, so I don't think that would actually be worth it for late game players. For newer players, it would be. And I would mention that on Monday streams and such. But no, I don't think that would be worth it for late game players. The amount you would have to throw down just to get one to Mythic would be more than you could even have in those little color resources. Like, I think we could open up, like, 50 or so of any colored thing. Assuming we only get a 1 in 8, exact 1 in 8 chance. Let's see, maths. That would be 7 possible drops. That would be 14. We'd have to spend every possible colored of a single color thing under one specific color in order to get just 14 copies of a troop. That does not seem that worth it at all. It seems way too expensive, given that all the other drops would be completely useless. Not to mention, in just natural time, you'd be able to get them from glory keys and such. You're down 40,000 gems from all the new game modes? Wow. Yeah. Let's see. You can click on big screen bounty when you go to play. You don't need to go to move the screen to the right. Oh, do you just click on the... Wait, what do you mean by that? Let me double check that, what you mean. Is there a thing that you just click all the way at the top there and I don't need to go all the way and click to the right there? So it's probably the same distance regardless. Doesn't take that long to move the mouse over some. But I'll go double check what you mean by that. Because that might be slightly quicker. Which would be helpful when we're doing a lot of battles. Okay, let me go check it real quick. Okay. So let me see what you mean by that. If we click here, that doesn't work. If we click here, none of those work. I don't know what you mean by that. Where do I click that it does the fight? Double clicking that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. These obviously wouldn't work because they're all lower battles. I don't know what you mean by that. I am not certain. I don't see where you are referring to because none of these work. None of these clicking doing anything. Go to main menu. Games. Bounty. That doesn't work. Oh no, which one do you mean? Oh, this one! Oh no, that doesn't work either. Oh no, what one do you mean? He means at the games menu? Games. Bounty. That doesn't bring us there. Games. Bounty. That also doesn't bring us there. Oh no, which one are you referring to? Is there a third one I'm not seeing? Oh, I guess you mean I don't need to drag it to the right, as in I don't need to move over there. Okay, I see. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's what you're referring to. I don't need to drag it to the right, as in I don't need to go over here. Whereas I could just be clicking this button over here. Okay, I guess that's what you mean then. That's not that big a deal to go do that. We don't have to do that once we're going into a loop of them as well. We can just keep spamming them over and over and over again, so that's not too big a deal. But yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. That could be helpful, for sure. Anyways, we're kind of just sitting right over here. We definitely still have plenty of fights left, so I'll do all these later. We don't even really need to do them. I'd even need to go get those extra 10 this week, but we have them, so we might as well use them. That's a little bit of a waste, actually, of 200 gems, but oh well. I could basically consider it 200 gems to guarantee yourself a chance of getting that one smaller orb. As long as we get an Orb of Ascension or Orb of Clans, it would have been somewhat worth it. If we get anything else, it would be a complete waste, but oh well. Anyways, does anyone have any other questions? Otherwise, I'll be heading out for now and go eat. Because obviously I appear to be getting lightheaded from lack of food. Didn't actually eat anything yet today. It's already like 1 a.m. and still haven't ate a single thing. I've gone way longer than that before without eating, but still. But yeah, we'll be heading off probably after this battle if no one else has any other questions or anything. We'll be back in 3 to 3.5 hours, probably more towards 3.5, to go do the Puzzle Quest stream. We should be finishing out every final quest in Puzzle Quest, so we'll finally have that completed. And there's still other things we'll be doing in that game, but in a few more streams. But yeah, probably 1 or 2 more streams after this current stream in later today, and we'll pretty much be done with that game for now. Other than that, we'll have the normal Gems of War stream in 7 hours from now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every night. And yeah, that's pretty much the schedule for today. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Do not drink and drive. Be safe out there. And hope you all enjoy yourself, for any of you that are celebrating the occasion. And other than that, nothing too interesting happening in Gems of War in the next amount of time. I believe the next interesting thing is the Gnome event on the 30th. Of course, we're getting a new event on Monday. Though last I recall, it's a pretty standard event. Nothing too special about the Monday event. Let me go take this revenge. I can't not take it. But yeah, let me double check actually. What is Monday's event? Let me go over that real quick. Might as well. 1 second. Monday's event. So this Monday, we are getting 2 new troops. One of them is through the raids. So technically, I'm not even going to count that. So we're getting 1 new troop. It is the Frost Archer. It is a rare that will be available for 300 glory. It deals magic plus 3 damage to an enemy and then freezes them. If they were already frozen, deal 5 bonus damage and freeze adjacent enemies. So basically, it's a potential triple freeze if they're already frozen, but if they're not already frozen, it is essentially dead content. Interesting. It has insulated, agile, and swift, so it does start with 75% mana, meaning I believe it's actually the quickest possible single target freeze in the game, which is kind of interesting. because it's only a 14 mana cost, and it starts with 75%. What is 75% of that? 11 or 10? I don't know which way it would scale. Probably 10. So you might need a +1 or one of her manas to go get her immediately. She's a blue-red. So she's not really going to be replacing out too much as far as under blue-reds. But, yeah, I believe she will be the quickest freeze in the game. Though other than for that purpose, I don't think she'll serve much of a use. And for the most part, she will be useless. The event key for that week will be okay to do. There'll be 3 noteworthy drops. It's going to be Borealis, which is mostly useless, though it's a very good early game freeze if you can't afford fully traded Queen Mab, or you don't even have her, is an alternative to that. There's Queen Mab, which is the best freezing troop in the game, as well as the best mana burn in the game. Though anything that has Impervious, hard counters are like crazy, because anything with Impervious has both immunity to her freeze and to her damage, so she's essentially useless to anything with immune. And other than that, Skady will also be available. So, of course, she's a mythic, so very low chance you would get her. But if you have been wanting to get her, if you didn't already get a copy earlier, or if you just needed her to throw into Blue Day or something, she will be available. She's not really anything too interesting. One interesting mechanic she does have, though, as far as functions, is, well, for one, she has Perpetual Blue Storm, which is just good on any troop that has Perpetual Storms. But her main purpose, actually, surprisingly, is to third troop counter. She is the best third troop counter currently in the game, other than single targets that can easily dispose of it. But she drags the third slot all the way to first, because she moves the first 2 slots to the back, so that in effect moves the third slot to first, which is pretty effective, because currently, and throughout the history of this game, third slot has been the safest possible slot you can ever put any troop. And she's basically the counter to teams that build around this, and almost every team puts their best troop into third. You can see us on this team putting our Infernus into third. A good majority of PvP teams run that way. So you can even see right here, Kraken, best troop in third. We can pretty much see that in every single team. That one's not the case, though. That one's not the case. But a good majority of them, of late game teams, do run third troop, best troop in third slot, and Skady's the counter to that. But yeah, nothing too interesting with the event next week, but some okay event stuff, event key stuff. Hopefully we'll have something nice in the Soul Forge. And yeah, it's pretty much just going to be a standard week. Nothing too over the top for next week. Though it's definitely a really nice time to go get a freeze option. If you don't have any freeze options, next week is the week to go get them, that is for sure. No problem for the stream, Frosty and everyone. Let's see, any other things? Any idea why the new troop seems to be drawn in paint? The paints or the arts for the other card is so much better. Which one? The new one coming in on Monday, are you referring to? I didn't actually take a good look at the graphics of it. It looks a little bit different than the normal art style of the game. Actually, that does look a little bit odd. I didn't actually look at that. That does look quite a bit different. Yeah, that does look a bit off. I wouldn't say it's drawn in paint, but that does look a little bit off compared to the normal graphical stuff that they do. She looks really two-dimensional. I think that's the main thing that's kind of doing it. And the colors are really flat, even though it has some shading. But anyways, it doesn't look too bad. I don't know. It looks really different compared to the normal art style of the game, but it doesn't look too bad as far as its actual graphic thing. But I do see what you mean by that. It does look a little bit off. Yeah, I know. It does look a little bit off compared to the normal ones. But yeah, anyways, we'll be going over all that tomorrow night as far as the everything that they do. There is a chance that they could tweak them as far as their art or their actual ability. Nothing's official until it actually gets released into the game. Let's see. Hey, you can't draw and paint. You paint and paints. Good points. Very good points. I can't draw on anything, though. Can't draw if my life depended on it. Even when I was in a digital communications class in high school, which I ended up taking, where I learned like stuff in Photoshop and all those kind of programs, and a little bit of HTML5 as well, even though I barely remember any of it. Anytime we had to like draw things, I was so ridiculously bad. Had to basically go like minimalistic art style, because that was the only thing I could possibly do that would still look like I could at least do some amount of drawing. Because if I tried doing anything more complex than the absolute most minimalistic versions of drawing,
it would just look absolutely awful. Also, hello, Bridget, and goodbye, Bridget. We're going to be heading out for now. We will be doing the gems. I mean, we will be doing the puzzle quest stream, though, in about 3.5 hours, though. You'll be uninstalling Gems of War on Monday? Oh, no! Why, you don't care for all of the little energy system things? Yeah. I can definitely understand that. It's been definitely unfortunate that they've been adding those kind of things. But, yeah. Hopefully they don't keep going down that direction. But, yeah. They have been making some pretty drastic changes lately. We'll see exactly what they make in future updates. Hopefully some things that will be able to contradict or, you know, kind of go in a different direction than the whole energy system thing that they've been doing. But, yeah, if they continue with that, I could definitely see more people going down that path. You were hoping for a new update would make it more fun, and it was made more tedious and grindy and greedy for the gems. Yeah, they've definitely added a lot more gem sinks into the game. I do think in the long run, these gem sinks will be good, though they do need to adjust how the system is set, because currently it's really pay to win. I wouldn't mind them keeping it in this current format to waste basically every person, every like late game person's amount of gems to make it basically bring everyone to the same amount, and then basically rebalance it and make it non-pay to win. I wonder if that's actually their strategy in the long run. That could possibly be their strategy that we're not even aware of, though. They're most likely going to be keeping it as is. But you never know. They could deliberately have done it like this and keep it like that for a few months. Then like a few months later, due to popular demand, nerf it and make it less pay to win. And then by then, every person who has like tens of thousands of gems would have wasted tens of thousands of gems. And it would have basically taken all the gems out of the economy while still bringing it back to non-pay to win. But hopefully they'll do something with it. But yeah, it was definitely made pay to win. Every single one of these sigil leaderboards ever that they add is pure pay to win, 100%, because you can buy this infinitely. I have no clue why they made it so you could buy this infinitely. They should have just made these tier systems. Like, they shouldn't have even done these tier systems to begin with. But if they were going to do this, they should have made it so you can only buy each once. You shouldn't be able to buy this final one infinite amount of times. That is the most broken thing I've ever seen. Because this leaderboard just comes down to who's going to pay the most for this. That's all that it comes down to. It basically comes down to who has the most time and who has the most gems combined together. Because, of course, it takes a lot of time to do that, too. Obviously, we've done 2 streams now, and we still haven't even done all of our sigils. And between those 2 streams, we spent about 4 or 5 hours or so doing this. So to reach that, that would be approximately, let's say, 12 to 16 hours or so. And, of course, it would cost about 4,000 or so gems. Demon or Angel already said he spent 3,000 gems, so we already know that that is at minimum 3,000 gems that he's at right now. Actually, he's still here. Let's see. Carrot and stick strategy. Yeah, pretty much. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Yeah, VIP is very worthless in this game, too. I don't really understand that either. They have, like, this really complex VIP system in this game, which I normally don't really pay much attention to. Yet, the rewards you get for it are so ridiculously bad. I guess it's somewhat understandable because they don't want to make it too good that it's, like, mandatory to have VIP. But, yeah, it's... At least nothing in here is pay to win, at least. There's only 2 things that are, in a way. VIP chests and automatic scouting, both of which are absolutely amazing. But everything in VIP chests is in normal chests. And the only thing that I truly consider pay to win under VIPs is automatic scouting. Though it only costs $40, but still, that's still pay to win. Because you get free scouting is just really convenient. It saves you time. And if you weren't going to scout, you automatically have an advantage with free scouting, since you already know preemptively what you're battling. Like, boom, we already know what we're fighting before we click. If we're doing this without scouting, we would have just gone into this battle not knowing what on earth he's using, and we might not have had the chance to counter him. You were hoping that they were putting in some of the mini-games from Puzzle Quest. Yeah, there's a lot of mini-games from Puzzle Quest that they could have potential to add. I don't know why they haven't really added much. They added one. They added, basically, Treasure Hunt is essentially a mini-game from Puzzle Quest 2. Not exactly. It's actually a little bit more complicated than what was in Puzzle Quest 2. But the Treasure Hunt mini-game basically is a mini-game from Puzzle Quest 2, just in a slightly more complex version. The Puzzle Quest 2 version was, like, really simplified compared to what Treasure Hunt is, even though Treasure Hunt's pretty simple, too. But slightly less so than what the Puzzle Quest 2 was. But that's basically the only mini-game that they brought from Puzzle Quest 1 or 2 is Treasure Hunt. Every other minigame is basically
Well, arenas technically they took from every other game in existence. Every free-to-play game basically these days that has like a card system has something similar to arena. Sometimes even called exactly arena as well. But every game has something like that, so can't really count that. The only slightly unique things are like dungeons and bounty hunter basically, as far as actual uniques as of currently. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna be heading out for now. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Hope you all have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. As I mentioned, we'll be back in about 3 hours or so, maybe a little bit later, but about approximately 3 hours or so, and we'll be back with Puzzle Quest then. And for the Puzzle Quest stream, we'll be finishing out hopefully all the quests, or at least a good majority of them, and then trying to do all the captures, which we'll be finishing out the following week. And other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's basically everything I wanted to mention. I already went over the events. Thank you for your subscribe, much appreciated. And I guess I'll see you all later. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day, and don't drink and drive. Anyways, guys, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.